about, man. So it's a beautiful thing that we will be able to have Don on, and so we'll talk a little Dolphins with him. We'll get his thoughts on the Vegas trip, which I'm still amazed at how many people are actively, involved in all of this with Vegas and the draft.
Everybody wants to be reborn, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, and listen, I mean, for a guy like you, you've never been to Vegas, so for you, it's going to be the ultimate treat. You're going to go for it. You've never been to an NFL draft, so you'll go to an NFL draft and you'll go to Vegas all at the same time. So for people like that, I can understand you're so gun ho about it, but I think for the other folks that are involved, it's they're excited about the Dolphins, is what it is, and so am I. So am I. We don't hear you at all.
We've been waiting 20-something years, man, to,
lot
this
longer.
is a rebirth.
40. Yeah. So it's one of those deals where it's pretty amazing how the response that we've gotten on all of this, and I can't wait to go. It's going to be such a blast out there. We're going to have an awesome, awesome time. Really, it's a once in a lifetime type of event. And for those of you that might be just tuning in for the first time, you might be downloading the podcast for the first time, we are hosting the NFL Draft in Vegas at a bar called Tommy Rockers. A couple hundred Dolphin fans will join us out there for 3 days. We'll broadcast the entire draft, all 3 days, all the picks. So we'll talk about them. Maybe we'll get some of them on. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try to do whatever we can to set it up. Okay. So we'll have a little fun with all of that. Anyway, how are we doing? Are we on? We're live already? Do we have are we live with YouTube now? Well, if we are with YouTube, that would be great. Yes, we are live. It's a beautiful thing. We are live with YouTube, so I like that. So if you want to get in, remember the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. And remember, you can start to send in your fantasy football questions because Andy Behrens will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. So if you want to send them in, please do. So we can get those in line for Andy Behrens at the bottom of the hour. Now, we do have breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking because it happened a little bit ago, but it was happening on the switch from us going to coming from Pembroke Pines Acura over to Hialeah Park. N'Kosi Perry has been named the starter for the Miami Hurricanes. And that doesn't really do anything for me. I've admired that the kid has really, played hard, played well overall for him. I think he's done a nice job. I can't complain about the way N'Kosi Perry has gone about it. He has sold out completely for this team. And you can tell that there's been some kind of level of maturity from N'Kosi Perry, so I admire that. And it's not like Jaron Williams was going to give me any more confidence or any less confidence if you would have named him the starter. But it's interesting how that headline doesn't really rock my world because the problems are team deep. It's almost like the laziness that we get from some people when they just say it's the kickers. Oh, well, if you had somebody that could kick, you'd have a couple extra wins. Maybe. But if you want to kid yourself and think that the problems are just about the kicking, then, you're a blind-ass fan, basically. Because if you think it's all about kicking, you have not been disappointed with the uneven play of the offense, the uneven play of the defense, the terrible play by the special teams, not just kicking. Everything else on special teams sucks. Their problems run deep. So that's where I would tell you, it's nice to fix your kicker. But there's a bunch of these games that did not have to come down to a kick. And that shows you poor preparation, poor coaching, kids, whether that article is right or wrong. I gotta say that I would tend to agree with Barry Jackson's article on that one, that maybe some kids are tuning you out. I mean, the cornerback is a perfect example on the fake punt. And if that guy actually was selling out for you, he'd be paying attention and doing his job, something that he wasn't doing. So if Ivy's going to tune you out, you know what I mean? So that tells you right there where these problems are at with this team. So if you think that having the quarterback situation, I don't know if it's settled or not, but clearly Manny likes N'Kosi Perry and likes what he's done, that he's not going back to Jaren, and they're both dealing with shoulder injuries. Now, one is dealing with a shoulder injury that's non-throwing, and that's N'Kosi, and Jaren's dealing with a shoulder injury that is his throwing shoulder. So you do have to be concerned. But then again, he put him in last week. So the injury can't be that bad either. But when you tell me N'Kosi's starting, it's nice, but it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't give me any more confidence that you're going to win today. You're going to win on Saturday. I just don't expect. I really don't. So N'Kosi Perry is your starter here for the Miami Hurricanes against the Pitt Panthers. We got a loaded show, like I told you. I think we weren't on YouTube at the moment, but for those of you that are back with us, Andy Behrens will join us here at the bottom of the hour from Yahoo Fantasy. I got to talk to Andy. Maybe we'll add a basketball segment. See if he's willing to do that. Chris Long, winwithsports.net. He'll give you his picks in college and the NFL. Don Henrik, Lanco Fin Fan Club in Pennsylvania, will join us at 4 o'clock, so we'll have a little fun with him. I got a bunch of other things that I want to bring up for you guys. But before we do that, let's get ready for a little Andy Behrens. Before we get to Andy Behrens, let me tell you about Toyota of Hollywood, where they've got over 1,500 cars in stock. I think they move on average like 900 a month or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the amount of cars that they move out there. Why? Because they're always making great deals. They've got the largest selection out there. I think volume sales dealership, they might be the number one in the country. And right now, folks, you can save up to 50% from the new price on their 2019 models in their model changeover event sale going on, like the Corolla LE listing at $21,000. They've got them at $12,775. The RAV4 XLE, which is really sharp, man, listing at $30,000. They've got them at $19,775. The 2019 Tundra SR5, that's a beautiful truck, man. $42,000, $26,775. So take advantage right now, folks. They've got over 1,500 Toyotas in stock. They've got all kinds of things going on. They'll make your payments until 2020. Why don't you find out about that? 0% factory financing. They've got all kinds of different programs. It's amazing. If you have a job and you make $400 a week, they can get you approved with your credit. So call them right now, folks. They got special introductory savings on 2020 models. And, of course, it's your last chance right now on all remaining 2019 models and their model changeover event. It's at 1841 North State Road 7. Go see Herbie and all the great people out there, man. I'm telling you, Steve, all the fantastic folks. They will take care of you at Toyota of Hollywood.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Seeing ghosts.
Ah, it's a beautiful thing. It is time to talk a little fantasy football. So get those questions ready. You want to send them in here on the YouTube chat board. If you're watching YouTube and you're watching the show and you got some fantasy football questions, send them in here as my man Andy Behrens is ready to answer your fantasy football questions at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. Many ways to get in on the YouTube, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, on Twitter too. I'll pull up my Twitter feed at Big O Show. You want to DM them to me, you want to send them to me as a message, whatever, go ahead. Send in your fantasy questions. We'll line them up for Andy. And you can follow Andy on Twitter at Andy Behrens. As always, Andy, last night, we started late in our basketball season, so we had our draft yesterday. Are you there? Do we have Andy?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. And so we had our fantasy basketball draft yesterday, and now we have keepers in this league, but you can only keep them within their first 3 years of the league. Okay, so in other words,
which is really fun.
Yeah, which is cool. Like I own Luka Doncic. Okay, so I went in last night with Doncic already. I have John Collins also on my team, so I have a couple really nice studs to start off the season. And dude, can you believe somebody took Zion number 1 overall in our draft?
Oh, well, wow.
Yeah,
No, I cannot.
Yeah. LeBron, AD, Harden, you got number 1, and you could get, some guys that can really set your team up. And my man, I know you get to keep him for 3 years, but the injury has got to scare the crap out of you, right?
Yeah, I don't know that it's entirely clear that he would be the number. Even in that setup, I don't know that he's the first rookie I would want, because we know that we're erasing the first 2 months of his season in a best case scenario. The first 2 months of his first season are gone. And then you just we just haven't seen a player like this, a player that explosive at that weight. We'll see. He did have a knee issue in high school. He obviously had a knee issue last year at Duke. Not entirely his fault. Somewhat equipment related, had an issue in summer league too, and now he's got the meniscus. I don't know. These are pretty big question marks.
So basically,
John Morant's in a great situation. John Morant is going to be the alpha and the point guard for Memphis for years to come. I'm not so sure I wouldn't take John over him.
Well, just so you'll know, I had the 12th pick in the draft. I won the championship last year, so I ended up with 12. And so I picked 12 and 13. I took John Morant right there. I was wondering because when they took Zion number 1, I go, oh man, is this going to force somebody to reach for John the first round? And nobody reached for him, so I took him in the second round because obviously it's my first pick.
You've got 3 years of a great player who again is going to be the centerpiece of his offense. It's not that different from the Doncic scenario, right? You're in a great situation with him, and now you've got somebody who can deliver similar numbers. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me at all if John Morant is a high third round, late second round pick next year. That seems about right to me. That he falls in the in the De'Aaron Fox range, that's a perfectly reasonable scenario.
And by the way, I got another rookie. I got Nickel Alexander Walker. I like that kid. I like what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
I like what I've seen from him, man. So it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out for me too.
Where did PJ Washington go? Because he just absolutely blew up on opening night. That was
he went in the he went somewhere like in the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's going to be a top 5 rookie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, I just blew that one.
Let me ask you something. You want to add a fantasy basketball segment?
Oh, I'm all for it. Yeah. I'm
okay,
all
good.
For it. That's
good.
kind of where my head is right now, to be honest.
You know what I was going to tell you? What would you? Because we're doing football on Friday. You want to do it like on Monday in the afternoon?
I'm game. Yeah,
because
I'm
that way we do it right before people do waivers for the week, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of the last time to set your lineups in a weekly lineup league. Yeah.
Yeah, because usually our deadline will be at 7:00 that night. So if you want to make any, because like for me, that's the one rule I hate about this league that I've been in for almost 20 years now, is that it's only a weekly league. You don't even get to change your lineups daily. So if somebody gets injured in the second or third day, you are screwed. And it hurts your averages and all that. That's the only rule I've hated. And I've always campaigned for, come on, let's make it an everyday league. But people are lazy.
I will say that the daily transaction leagues really benefit the people who may happen to be like on West Coast time, right? Like if you happen to be watching the West Coast games live instead of being the person who wakes up to the West Coast result, like you don't want time zone bias to settle your league title.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. No doubt about that. All right, if you guys want to send in your fantasy football questions, do it here on the YouTube chat board. You can do it if you're watching. If you want to send them in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. I'm also going to whip up the Twitter feed here at Big O Show, so you can send them there on the timeline, or you can put them on DM, however you want to do it. Somebody's asking about Matt Schaub starting. How much does that hurt the passing game of the Falcons?
Well, first of all, we don't know that Matt Schaub is starting, and Matt Ryan did some work today in practice. It sounds like they're going to evaluate him on Saturday, so I wouldn't bank on Matt Schaub being the starter necessarily. Obviously, if he is, it is a huge problem. He's been a pick-six machine. This is not the prime Texan version of Matt Schaub. Obviously, he's not been good in recent years. It would be a huge problem. It would dial down expectations, certainly for Hooper, who has excellent rapport with Matt Ryan. You know, Matt Ryan, until he got hurt last week, had been 300 yards every week this season. Every single week this season, he was on a 5,400-yard pace entering last week. Mm-hmm. And he is good enough to sustain something like that when he's also saddled with a terrible defense. So, like, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, especially after the Mohamed Sanu trade, were in an unbelievable situation. And this hurts it a lot, right? Like, I would say Matt Schaub is could maybe deliver 70%, 65% of the totals that I would normally expect from Matt Ryan. I have a very low opinion of the current version of Matt Schaub. So, Julio would be the only guy who's a sure starter for me, and Calvin Ridley would become more of a wide receiver 3/4, and I might even want to shy away from Austin Hooper if it is Matt Schaub. But again, we're not there yet. They're going to reevaluate Ryan this weekend, and if he can go, you can feel okay about that offense.
How do you handle the Breeze and Teddy Bridgewater situation, because they could be sharing this week?
Well, any scenario like that would be a total nightmare, and they would just be off the board. And in most leagues, one quarterback leagues, that's not going to be a problem. You're going to be able to veer away and find some sort of option. I feel like, just personally, if that were me and I'd had all the success that they've had with Teddy Bridgewater, again, he's not prime Breeze. I mean, Breeze last season was as efficient as any quarterback has ever been in NFL history. You know, like they kind of changed the nature of his throws a little bit, especially late in the year. But nobody has ever been that accurate. Hardly anybody has ever been that efficient. So, like, as soon as Breeze is back and ready to go, he should clearly be the quarterback. That said, you'd kind of, like, they got a bye coming up. So and they have not a cupcake opponent this week, but a game that they should reasonably win against Arizona. I mean, if it's me and I'm thinking I have a Super Bowl contender on my hands, I don't play Brees this week. I let him go through the bye. I let him get fully healthy. And then I come back, guns blazing with one of the best quarterbacks of all time in my offense, clicking on full cylinders.
Now, but on the flip side, Michael Thomas is not to be benched at all just because there's a sharing. It doesn't matter. That guy's going to get the action anyway, right? I mean,
they've proven that he's going to get a dozen targets a game, and he's still been really good. Like Teddy Bridgewater isn't Drew Brees, but he's performing at maybe 80-85% of what Drew Brees might do. So, and Michael Thomas has been an absolute target magnet. So anybody in the league who's seeing double-digit targets basically needs to be considered something close to a wide receiver one for fantasy purposes. And, I think Michael Thomas has his only touchdowns this year are actually with Teddy Bridgewater. So it really hasn't been bad for Thomas at all.
Edelman's been kicking ass, but he's dealing with the chest injury. Is that something to be concerned about?
I mean, everybody who owns Edelman knows that he entered the season with a questionable tag, and he's carried it all year. He's been limited in practices, and he always shows up. I'm sure he's in a lot of pain too. Like when that injury initially happened, it looked bad. He's played through it. It's borderline heroic for fantasy owners, and I don't think you need to sweat that one right now.
Mason Rudolph is playing the Miami Dolphins on Monday. Does he become a must start because Miami gives up their share of points?
Yeah, how about it? That's kind of where we're at with Miami Dolphins. I'm really sorry about it.
We're not. That's the plan. Relax, bro. Relax.
Yeah, I guess
this is the 1 year where you can actually say, "Hey, we're going to take a little pride in sucking." It's all right. Don't worry about it.
That's the thing though. I've been through that as a fan, and it's not fun to watch. Like if it's still not fun to watch. It still grinds on you, knowing that your team, and like we understood it with the Cubs for years. The Cubs, bottomed out.
But see, here's the difference, my brother. The Cubs don't end up with a draft in Vegas for 3 days. We will. I'll be broadcasting from there for 3 days, so I know that all of this is leading to a party of three. Actually, it's like a week party because Bill and I are going to go out on a Monday and come back on a Monday. So we're going to go out for a whole week to Vegas and have a blast out there. So what I mean? There's a lot of us Dolphin fans.
Sounds all right to be a radio host in those circumstances, but again, if you're a season ticket holder, it's a lot to throw at a season that is being tossed away by the team. Like I get it. So
the last 20 weren't any great shakes either, my brother. At least now you suck for a reason, not like in the last 20 years that you're actually trying to win, but you suck. That's a whole different ballgame there. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. And like to the question about Rudolph, Miami's giving up 9.4 yards per pass attempt. Which is just a startling number. It's last in the league. They're probably going to remain last in the league. Like that's almost a first down every time they try to pass against you. Rudolph himself has not actually been pushing the ball downfield at all. They take like 2 or 3 shots downfield every game and no more, and everything else is very near the line of scrimmage. So he's not been a particularly exciting quarterback, but can Mason Rudolph sneak into the top 12 this week? It's possible. I think Rudolph week to week is a guy who has virtually no shot of being top 5. So he's not somebody I'm ever going to be particularly excited to start outside of maybe a 16-team league. But it wouldn't shock me if he had his best finish of the season against Miami because nobody's been this bad.
Right. Yeah. No. It's been a rough go. What do you do with AJ Green? We've got the trading deadline 5 days away. He's about to become healthy. If he stays on a really bad team, he still might be productive. But if you're a fantasy player out there and maybe you can have him for maybe not a steep price, what do you do with AJ Green? How do you look at it?
Yeah, I think of AJ Green as a guy who, if you drafted, like if you've got an IR spot in your league, it's fine. You've just had him stashed there all season. It's no big deal. It's like he's invisible to you. If you don't, there has definitely been an opportunity cost to owning AJ Green. Even if you planned for it, even if you knew he wasn't going to play, you were like, whatever, I'm not going to see him until November. there's still an opportunity cost to burning a bench spot. So I think of him, if you're this comes down to what is your record right now and how close are you, like how worried are you about not making your fantasy playoffs? Like if you're a 3-4 team and you've been sitting on AJ Green, you gotta convert that into something that you can use to get 4-4 and then to 5-4, right? Like you can't just keep risking losses. You've got to, even if you feel like it's a 50 cents on the dollar sort of deal, you probably got to do it because you have to do something to get wins immediately. If you are, however, like a 5-2 team, and you don't own them, maybe I'm interested because I think you and I have talked about it. No matter what Cincinnati says, and they should outwardly, publicly take the position that, of course, we're not trading this guy. He's a pillar of the franchise, blah, blah, blah. But privately, AJ Green's timeline isn't the Cincinnati Bengals timeline. There's no path to that team making the playoffs this year. They're not going to be good this year. They're probably not going to be good next year. They should chop him. Like, he is a strong candidate to get dealt at the deadline, no matter what the team says. Teams lie to us all the time. So I think there's a pretty good chance that he moves. Actually, of all the receivers who haven't moved yet, I would say he's one of the strongest trade candidates out there. And in his situation, his unique situation, I would say it might not hurt him. Well, like usually we don't like it when receivers get dealt at the trade deadline, but the team has a brutal offensive line. They have an often brutal quarterback, and it's just a dead end situation for him in Cincinnati. So I would love to see him get moved. I don't know where it is, but it can't possibly be as bad as the situation in Cincinnati. So, I think of him as a guy that if you're 3-4, you throw him into a deal as a trade sweetener, maybe it gets it done. And if I'm a team that's like 6-1, 5-2, I'm pretty interested in adding him if I can get him on the cheap.
All right, good stuff there. Andy Behrens, follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens and catch his work there at Yahoo Fantasy. Jason Allen or Wentz? And they're asking also Saints defense or Seattle?
Oh, that's an interesting question. An interesting two questions there. I would not lean to. I assume we're talking Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Allen's got a matchup against San Francisco, and San Francisco's just been death. That's a really good defense. That is a buzzsaw defense. So even though Wentz hasn't necessarily looked like a superstar, and he's got a difficult matchup against Buffalo too, I feel a lot better about him. I mean, he's a better player than Kyle Allen. I'm more optimistic about them finding a way to score once or twice through the air than I am Kyle Allen. That's just a terrible scenario. And the other side of that question, the Saints have just been. New Orleans was one of my options there, right? New Orleans has been so good. They've just been so good. That's probably where I lean.
Okay. All right. Let me. There you go. All right. Next one is I've been telling a lot of people since the draft Darrell Henderson, stash him. Malcolm Brown's now banged up. Todd Gurley's not Todd Gurley. Are those people that hung on to Darrell Henderson, are things going to start to pay off now?
Well, we've got an absolutely fantastic matchup this week, and there's a real chance now that this is Brown missing a couple games, so this is a pretty significant issue. There is a real chance that Henderson leapfrogs him permanently. Brown is obviously, by the way, a drop at this point. Henderson is definitely past the eye test. Like Henderson has had a couple of significant games that in situations where not every back in the league is going to pick up all those yards. Like he's been really good. And we've got a matchup this week where you would imagine the Rams can run away from Cincinnati, as bad as it's sometimes been for the Rams. Cincinnati is about as bad as it gets in the NFL right now. Like defensively, offensively, it has been really ugly.
Hey, we take offense with that, all right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
We're trying to take offense with that, okay?
You are out-tanking everyone. You are definitely out-tanking everyone.
Okay.
Sometimes you make it a little bit too interesting. Like it's been a little bit too interesting for a tanking team over the last couple games.
That's because I think they actually have a coach. I'm actually now starting to believe that Brian Flores can coach. Seriously. Seriously.
That might be right. It's rare for a coach to be able to. I mean, I guess Brown has with the Sixers. It's rare for a coach to be able to survive a tanking scenario, but you might have one.
Yeah, but at least Brown with the Sixers was picking up studs every year that,
Right.
Miami has no talent. I mean, the Bengals have way more talent than Miami. Okay, and so does
Yeah, it's
Washington,
true.
and some of these really dysfunctional and screwed up situations, the Jets or whatever, they have way more talent, and they're slightly better by record, except for Cincinnati. But you really look at it, Miami has been improving, especially the last month, the last 4 games. You've watched drastic improvement. You're like, holy crap, maybe this guy's making like chicken salad out of chicken. You know what? And that's pretty amazing.
We're way off topic here, but I do wonder if we will ever see a situation where an executive wins like an Executive of the Year award for like a wonderful tanking scenario, like what we've seen in Miami. Because Miami has picked up some like legit picks. They've made some interesting bets against some teams where those picks are going to pay off, and they have done some things to distinguish themselves from the rest of the tanking field. Right, like this has been a very well executed tank. I don't expect that to ever be rewarded by end of season awards voters, but
No.
hey, it's about as well done as it's ever been.
I think, and remember, they cleared out all that dead space, all that cap money. So they're going to have. They're going to have.
And if they end up converting this, if they convert this into like post Patriots, post Tom Brady,
Right.
if they have like all this young fun talent, for a 5-year stretch, I don't know. It's gonna look pretty good in hindsight. All of the decisions they've made.
That's why I'm not with the tanking thing. To me, it was a legit reset. It's the way it is. Like the example I've given everybody is, in corporate America, you can go fire. You buy this company and you fire 15 managers, 15 assistant managers, 40 salespeople, and then you use all those salaries to replace them. You can't do that in the NFL because there's called the salary cap hit. So you can't replace the same people with the same kind of players because you won't have that money available. You got to take the cap hit. So now they took a one lump sum of almost $60 million of dead money, and then they'll get it all back next year, and then they can start to reload the right way. So that's why, to me, tanking is the Marlins, is what I keep explaining to people. When you're really not trying to win every year, that's tanking. When you actually reset like Miami did, Miami will spend all that money. They're going to spend all that money in the next 2-3 years. You're going to see. So it can't be tanking. But in order for you to have that money, you have to do this in order to get there. That's why, to me, it's a little unfair because they're trying to win. They're working their asses off, but they had to strip it down bare bones. It's just the way it is.
Baseball also a very different structure where they've set up a scenario where if you just keep payroll low and you keep losing, like you're guaranteed a certain amount in revenue sharing, right? Like you can't lose money.
We know about that too.
Losing baseball team.
We know about that too. Yes, we've had experts at that here in Miami for many years. No doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the folks, long story, now we get back to the real thing. So the folks holding on to Henderson are now going to start feeling the payoff.
Yeah, and you can even play him this week again because it's Cincinnati. We would imagine that certainly at some point in the third quarter, the Rams, if they're competent at all, they're not going to need Todd Gurley anymore. And they've shown that like when it's time to put Todd Gurley back in the holster, they will do it. So I can easily imagine a scenario where the fourth quarter becomes Darrell Henderson's coming out party, and he has a really nifty game. So he could absolutely sneak into like the top 30 running backs this week. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Catch his work there at Yahoo Fantasy. And I'll call you over the weekend and we'll start setting up something for basketball on late Monday, okay? All right?
Good stuff.
All right, good stuff. And tell them at Yahoo what you guys do on Sunday, so just in case they want to get any last-second advice, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Catch us on Fantasy Football Live. It is 90 minutes before kickoff of the early games on Sunday. Just go to sports.com/fantasy, and you will find us.
There you go. Great stuff as always. Andy, you're the best, man. Thank you for taking some time, my brother. Talk to you on Monday.
Thanks, Miguel. Good luck, people.
You got it, baby. There you go. Little fantasy basketball, too, on Monday. You need all the help you can get, Bill.
Actually, I got a good team, man. The first night, when we did our draft 2 nights ago, I was down by like 30, 40 points, but last night, because I only had 2 or 3 players, last night I had 5. I'm beating the guy by 30, 40 points.
Nice. There you go.
That kid, what? Trey Young?
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta? Wow.
He's better than I thought he would be.
That kid's like my third point guard. Okay?
I gotta say something about Trey Young. I thought he was going to be a bricklayer. Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to shoot well. I thought he'd shoot often because that's what he does. But, man, he was jacking some stuff up from like 47 feet away yesterday. I mean, he's got you. One of the things you got to love about Trey is that dude is fearless, man. It's awesome. It's impressive how fearless that kid is. So yeah, you did a good job getting Trey.
You know what's
he wasn't on our board obviously because he was already taken
right
last year. Whoever has him, what are you gonna do? You're gonna release him? No, of course not.
It's amazing how Steph shooting those threes from frickin' half court. It's there's more guys now. You big, huge trendsetter.
Because you start showing that it can be done. Where
it's not a heave for right before the clock goes down.
We're in our 50s, dude.
Yeah.
When we were teenagers and somebody hit like a 52-yarder field goal, we were like, wow, that's awesome, man. That's impressive. Now, 52-yarders are the norm for guys. I'm not saying they're gimmies, but every NFL kicker has to be able to make a 52-yarder nowadays.
50-plus, you better be 50% hitting from 50-plus. If not, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, I mean, we got guys. The guy over the weekend hit a 63-yarder. It was like the fourth guy in NFL history.
I was going to say that would have tied what's his name's old
Dempsey?
record. Dempsey's, yes.
It wasn't his 62? I think they broke his already, like 4 times now. I think his was 62.
I think.
Look it up. I want to say that he was 62, and then a couple of other guys now, including Hentrick or whatever was the name of the guy that hit it, of the Cowboy guy. I think it was 63. I want to say that the dude with the stub foot was 62. Okay. All right, look it up. Maybe you might be right. I wonder what my boy, I actually drafted the last pick of my draft. I took the Poole kid. Did he do anything last night for the Warriors? Let me see. Oh, he did nothing. 5 points on 1 of 7 shooting. He got 21 minutes, but yeah, he has such a good 1 of 7 from 3-point range, 2 of 13. The Warriors they're not going to be good. They are not going to be good. But I'll tell you what is good. Dandy Donuts is good. Dandy Donuts is so delicious. Bobby, Frank, Laura, all the great people out there at Dandy Donuts. Their employees have been around for 5, 10, 15 years. It's amazing. It's a family-like atmosphere. It's one of those classic American diners that everything is made from scratch. The ingredients are second to none. And whether you're eating a breakfast, whether you're eating lunch, or whether you're eating the most delicious donuts on the planet, you got to go to Dandy Donuts in Hollywood. Hollywood location only. It's the only one I can vouch for. It's the only one that I can guarantee you. The service is second to none. The food is absolutely heaven because it's heaven in Hollywood. 102 North 28th Avenue. Go check out those donuts. Try the glazed. That is the finest glazed donut on the planet. They use real honey in the glaze. And whether we're talking about their croissants or the French rolls or the biscuits, it's all baked there fresh. Okay, the pastry chef makes his magic overnight, and in the morning you have those beautiful, delectable donuts and everything else that they make. There are all kinds of other pastries too. So get on down to 102 North 28th Avenue in Hollywood, just a couple of blocks east from I-95 and Hollywood Boulevard. Go on the Instagram. You'll get hungry at dandy_Hollywood. Go to the website, dandyhollywood.com.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
All right, we are ready to rock and roll. Second hour of the program. This will be a nice open hour for us. It'll be the 3 o'clock hour will be loaded because Chris Long will come in. Actually, we're pretty open for the next hour and a half. We've got a lot of things to talk about here on the program, a bunch of different things. Chris Long will stop by with winwithsports.net. Don Henrik, our buddy from FinFan Club in Pennsylvania, he's also going to join us. So we'll have a little fun with him here on the show. If you want to get in, it's really simple on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. And of course Twitter, Big O Show, and on YouTube. If you're listening, if you're watching, whatever, you can send us any questions. I was Jeff Bezos lost the world's richest person title to Bill Gates. A divorce. He lost billions in the divorce. That's why. Anyway, I just saw that.
He goes from the #1 billionaire, right, down to 2.
Yeah, 2.
But his wife becomes the #1 female billionaire.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what's really nice for him? He sits here and laughs his butt off.
Oh, yeah.
$12.2 billion earned, and my corporation didn't pay a dime in taxes. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Now, let me ask you guys something. What's the strangest call you have gotten on your phone? Like, on my way here, you see this? Let me see if I can get it even closer. There. Egypt. You know they're scams, right? It's one of those things when your phone comes up and it says scam likely. I actually used to work for somebody that every time you spoke to the dude, it was basically a scam every second. But anyway, so I am looking at and I just trip out because I don't know anybody in Egypt. Where else have I gotten them from? They're like I've gotten them from different countries. Trying to think of what was the other one I got the other day that was really, really odd. Have you gotten any of those calls from
foreign countries?
Yeah.
No, but on Twitter, I get things from all over the world, man, and it's like you look at the language and it's like I can't even guess.
Yeah, no,
where the hell that's from.
Yeah, but Twitter, yeah, I always go Russia. Here it is.
That's one Twitter. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about my phone. I got it from Russia, and here's the best part. It says 007 on it. +7 007 Russia. There's one for you. I'm just looking on my call thing, and just looking at the different ones. Russia was the other one. I know that
secret agent, man.
It's just weird, man. And how do they do that? Does anybody know how they do that stuff? Because are you telling me that the telemarketer or whatever the hell it is, they're in Egypt or they're in Russia? Or are they using some kind of thing that they're in this country but circumventing it through something else? And here's the other thing. How many of you actually answer those calls? Because I can't imagine that if you see a call coming in, I think you got to fix the camera, bro. You got me like, it's like really odd there. Anyway, if you don't know anybody there in that country, you got to know it's a scam, right? So why would you answer it? unless you're going to have fun with them, unless you do something. If you have any kind of those stories, send them to me on Twitter at Big O Show, or, of course, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. Dan Ferraro on Twitter goes, I love answering those calls and giving fake Social Security numbers and credit card numbers. Very satisfying to get the scammers to the point where they are F-bombing me and calling me the a-hole. That is awesome. I never.
That's awesome.
I mean, okay, first of all, you got to have the time to sit there and do all that. So if you have the time, that is fantastic, Dan, that you do that. That's freaking hilarious that you would do that. And then, I mean, if they actually do end up getting pissed off because they're probably running the card number right as you tell them, and then they find out that it's not a good number, that is great. Maybe I'll do that, bro. Maybe I'll do that. I'll give
waste our time for like a half an hour.
But here's the part that now I just thought about this. Not so worried so much about the credit card. What if you give a Social Security number that's accurate for somebody else? You know what I'm saying?
That's a really sick twist on that story.
Right? That's where hey, man, what if I give a Social Security number and I screw somebody else and I'm just joking around? I mean, you'll never find out, but that would be pretty crazy. Mark Rosado on Twitter says, I get calls from around the world, never answer, and they never leave messages unless it's a robocall from some Cuban calling card company. They got Cuban card calling companies? I had no idea they have that. Another guy's asking me, crazy, did your device actually ring or go straight to voicemail? No, it rings. It rings like a normal phone call. Yeah, definitely it rings just like a normal phone call. And then you look at you know how it is. We all have caller ID now on our phones. And you have all the numbers stored of the people you know. So, what is it, 95% of the time a call that comes in, you're already going to have the caller ID. You're going to have the name because it's somebody you know. When it's somebody you don't know, and there's no caller ID, and it's even a regular number, a 561, a 954, a 305, you don't even answer it either. Most of us don't. Most of us are like, it doesn't have a caller ID, I'm not going to answer it because I don't know what the hell it is, and I don't feel like getting tied up with it now. So if it's important, they'll leave a message, I'll check the message, and I'll call them back, or they'll text me right after, and sure enough, if it's something important, they'll leave a message. If it's somebody that knows you, but they're calling from another phone or whatever, they'll send you a text, yo, that was me. Answer. That's it. And you'll get a heads up one way or the other. But, yeah, it actually rang. Toby Black says, bruh, occasionally I get it from Romania. I think I've gotten the Romania one, too. I saw the Russia one. But remember, the calls don't go for weeks or months. I want to say I have Romania too. Big Buzz says, Indian accent says he's calling from Social Security Administration. Andrew Outwater goes, yep, it's a collect call from scammers for long distance calling. I want to say somehow you get billed for the call, but the scammer gets money from it somehow. Really? I wonder how. Jesus Perez says, got the same one last night. Brian says, I got a call from myself once. What the hell is that? Now that would trip you out. You grab your phone and it's you calling. And you're like, huh? That'll trip you out right there for sure. Especially if you walked out of some dispensary. And then you see that and you're like, well, wait a minute. Whoa. That stuff is really good. So it's happened to a bunch of you, apparently. Because that is so Egypt. And every time I see Egypt, I just think of the freestyle song, Egypt is the place to be. Egypt. Egypt. What's the name of that band? Who sung that song, Egypt? That's one of those one-hit wonders in freestyle. So it's hard to remember all the one-hit wonders. Myron is asking me on the YouTube chat board, who you got, Panthers or Niners? Tough matchup for my Niners. If they lose, I won't be surprised. I think they win, actually. I know the Panthers have played well. The Allen kid has played well. But I got to go Niners. Niners have the better team right now. Big O, if you had to do that 2018 NBA draft again, would you draft Luka or Trae Young, Eugene and Homestead? Oh, I'd still draft Luka, for sure. Are you kidding me? Luka's the better player. Trae is probably the better shooter. Luka's the better player, man. Takes it to the hole, the assists, the rebounds. Forget it. He helps me in more areas than Trae does. So no, I'm still going Luka. Definitely. And I'm really happy I picked up Ja Morant. That to me was a huge one there. And to get him to start the second round, I thought, especially when Zion went number one, I thought for sure there'd be a reach and somebody would be doing it.
Well, like usual, once something goes, like rookies,
right? The run starts.
There's the run. When the wide receivers start to go, there they go.
Tight ends,
there they go.
Yeah. Once you
better
start,
jump in, don't wait.
Yeah. No, definitely. I wasn't gonna. No, plus I was at the end of the draft, so I don't pick again for another 24 picks.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem with being on the ends. By the time that it comes back to you, there's 23 picks that have gone.
Yeah.
You could have a total run and backups.
Yeah. But you do get back-to-back picks, which is really, really sweet. Because when you pick one, it's great that you pick one, but you don't pick again till 24. Now you do 24 and 25.
See, that's why in that position, if you're on the back end, you better be the trendsetter of the run.
Yeah.
Because if not, by the time it gets back to you, you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah. I was worried about Alexander because I didn't know when they would reach for him, and then I was able to get him. I got Kendrick Nunn too. I actually picked the Heat player. I picked him at the end of the 10th round pick. I picked Kendrick Nunn.
Okay.
No. So, because he's a rookie, he's a keeper.
Right.
So if his body, like Tyler Hero was picked like the round before him. And I actually like this kid more than Tyler as a basketball player. Tyler's shot, I love.
Right.
Because he's got the superior shot, I'll say.
But the other kids can hit more categories.
Yeah, man, I think he can drive to the hoop. I think he has more physicality to him. You can tell his body. Because he got drafted 2 years ago, last year, and sat a year in the G League, he hit the weight room. So he's got his body now where
he's
Tyler
ready to play NBA ball.
But he never played in the NBA last year. So he kept his rookie status. So even though he's got another year of maturity ahead of Tyler and body, he still is a rookie like Tyler. So they both will have the same 3 years. So I said, you know what? What the hell? He's like the end of my draft. He's the end of my you have a 15,
you're maximizing that 10th pick's possible value.
Right. So I'm hoping I'm maximizing it. Hoping, of course, because you're going to hit and miss on rookies.
Obviously, not having played basketball fantasy in 8, 10, 12 years, most of my picks, what I was looking at, dual spots. Shooting guard. Forward.
Yeah.
Center, power forward.
Yep.
If you were a dual, I'd give up the one or two and slide down to the third or fourth best because you were a dual. I think, God, out of my 13 guys, probably 10 of them are dual spot type guys.
Yeah, that's good because you got to keep it interchangeable with injuries and things like that. So, yeah, I have several of those kind of guys. Myron says, by the way, the sound check of Kraftwerk was outstanding. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a lot of fun, and we've got a couple of sound check episodes coming up for you next week. One of them will have We will have a special guest. We're gonna have two. First of all, one, it's going to be from the Black Moods. We're gonna have Chico Diaz. I'm looking forward to that.
Really cool guy.
Yeah, super.
I mean, just laid back. He's the one that was like, "Hey, you want to check out our new bus?"
Right.
He was the one.
Yes, Chico is awesome. In fact, I just got an email from his manager. Now he just sent me something, so I've got to get back to him when I get off the air. And then Ed Kaye is going to be with us, who, Hall of Fame basically that's Hall of Fame talent. And Ed Kaye, obviously with the Sound Machine, and if you heard that episode with Tommy Anthony, Tommy talked about playing with Winwood and that Kaye was in that band. Well, Ed's going to have a couple of more stories following all of that. So we're going to have two different episodes that we're going to add to the sound check next week on there. And you can check out our first two episodes. We put up a interview I had with Rob Halford a couple years ago. I was going through my archives, and I went and I saw this yesterday, and I listened to it, and it was a really good interview, man. And Rob was so open, and we talked about a lot of things, and definitely an interview you want to listen to. So that's one there that would definitely be worth a little bit of your drive home. If you are a metalhead, you will love to hear from Rob Halford. It's actually really, really cool. So, Myron, thank you for the kind words on the sound check. We've got to build that one up. But I'd appreciate all of you out there to follow us and support us there on the sound check.
Everything you've put up so far on that sound check, it's amazing.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
It's worth the stop. Those interviews are priceless, man.
Yeah,
the nuggets that they dropped.
Yeah.
Like both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We also, Rick DeJesus, the lead singer of Adelita's Way, is also on the sound check. He is another one of the interviews that we did, so you'll see that. We'll keep adding more, and I'm working on all of that now. Bill and I are trying to put all of that together, but it's everything can happen overnight. You know what I mean? It all takes a little work and a lot of patience to get through all of this stuff, to put it all together. But we are doing definitely our best to keep it going for you guys and put together a really good music show. And obviously, we're doing our sports show on a daily basis and talking all kinds of stuff too, not just sports. Like I was just telling you, those scam calls, which that's what they are, a complete scam. Now, the other thing I want to know is, how do they get your number? Is it like some service that they're paying? Is that what it is? Did they steal somebody's bank or something like that? Or
Man, if I was a betting man, I would bet that the whatever telephone company or this or that, how Facebook, we don't give anything, but they do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Google, your email, bro, your phone number. I'm sure that Verizon tell you, like, oh, you're going to give us what? Just, kind of throw it, send an untitled batch over to them.
Yeah. I mean, give me a break, dude. Just nutty stuff. All right.
If anything, claim they hacked us, and that's how they got it.
Right, yeah. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, the other way to reach out to us is on Twitter, of course, at Big O Show. That's the other way that you can reach out to us. Twitter, Instagram, Big O Radio Show. Many ways. And, of course, here on the YouTube channel, you can always send in your questions and your comments on the YouTube channel, too, there. Always a nice way to contact us.
How did you send that file? What classification was that? Wasn't an MP3 file, buddy.
What are you even talking about?
Our friend in New York, Crazy Eyes. Go see her. What kind of file was that you
It's
sent
email.
me?
It's email. It's off the Twitter.
Yeah, it wasn't MP3. I'm going to tell you that.
No, it's a video. No, it's a video. You got to get the audio
so it's
off the video.
MP4. It was an MP4.
I have no idea what it is. I don't know what they labeled it, but it's a video.
I'm finally piecing this together for you there, buddy.
No, it's a video. It's a press conference from yesterday because yesterday's you got to hear Adam Gase's press conference. He got so frustrated with Manish Mehta. It's just classic. So I told Bill, hey, when you get a chance, download that thing so we can get a hold of it and what's it called? And play it for you guys, because this way you can hear the frustration in Adam Gase's voice. I mean, it's classic. Classic Gase. Classic frustration, all pissed off because the reporter he's on point and he's busting his balls because Adam Gase is a jerk. And it's about his lack of communication, and Mehta, man. Mehta then points out all the other players in different places that he's had clashes with and issues with. And he's like, well, 15 years, a couple guys. And no, dude, it's a couple guys in a couple years because you've only been a head coach for a couple years. It's funny how he throws in 15 years like it really mattered when you were an assistant coach. You weren't in charge of a team then, dude. Nobody cares about that now. Now they care about how you handle everything. And when you watch the press conference, which I was watching, you know how when you're watching a press conference on Twitter, the fans that are watching are commenting. And, I mean, the comments from the Jet fans. Is there a Jet fan out there by now that any of you are I mean, well, there's blind-ass fans in every fan base. So there's probably a couple of the blind-ass fans left that still want to believe that Gase is the guy. But I cannot imagine that there's a lot of you Jet fans out there that are that stupid. I know the ones that live here are definitely not that stupid because they saw it in Miami. Now they're seeing it with their team. They have to be cringing at this point. In New York, maybe there's still some of those idiot Jet fans that actually still think that he is the guy. And they'll convince themselves of it, even though it's not true. But yeah, that press conference.
Can I tell you what the scenario is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Miami, he smoked and mirrored us into the playoffs, right? And we were all, you know what?
We bought in.
Whatever
Hook,
this
line,
guy
and
wants
sinker.
to do, whatever he
too.
thinks, hey, he's got the keys to the car. He's driving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, of course, the next 2 years, the wheels came off, and it was a dud, okay? He parachutes out.
Right.
And, he's got to be like, ha, 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 I tricked him. Look,
Yeah.
I'm in New York. But look how fast it's catching up with him.
Oh, yeah.
And what it is,
and that
how the hell am I going to smoke and mirror this, man? I mean, Jesus Christ.
And that media is not going to let up. I mean, when we play that interview now, you're going to hear Manish. Bro, Manish. I got to get Manish on. I'm going to get Manish on next week. I guarantee you I'll get Manish on. Okay? Manish is I'm good with Manish. He's a friend of mine. We'll have a little fun. Alex Opela on YouTube says, the fam and my friends got our hotel for the NFL draft. Can't wait. First time going to Vegas. 23. Nice for you, Alex. All right, man. Myron follows up, goes, Alex, you're going to have a blast. Stay up all night, sleep in the morning, go to the pool, then hit the casinos. Myron has a good rhythm to it because Vegas
night,
is
sleep all day.
Yeah, because Vegas, yeah, exactly. Because Vegas is not the place. Myron is, dude. That's so true. I've never done that because I'm not really the party guy and stay up all night and drinking.
You will be when you're with me, buddy.
Yeah, but I won't be drinking. You know that.
Well, right.
I won't be drinking.
You're not.
I'm not the guy that goes to get wasted. No, I just can't do that. So it's going to be hard for me to stay up all night. Plus, we're 3 hours behind, so that means I've got to do the podcast a little earlier. You know what I mean? Which I'm trying, and Tommy, we're going to be able to do our show at Tommy Rockers. Since we are going out on that Monday, we'll probably do the Tuesday and Wednesday show out at Tommy Rockers, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, do the draft shows. Sunday, I will probably take it off. I'm just saying. Sunday, Bill and I are going to hang out in Vegas and just chill. Hopefully there's a really good concert Sunday. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for that week in Vegas. We got a bunch of good concerts. Because, I mean, I don't want to just go for a week, and I don't mind the gambling.
Here, I'm going to say.
But I also am not the guy that's going to sit at a table for hours and hours on end. I won't do that.
Can I throw the scenario at you?
Yes.
Because being out in L.A., and you pointing out to me, L.A. is probably the best spot for constant music.
Oh, it's not even close.
It is what it is.
It's not even close.
It's only 2 or 3 hours away, a little junket flight, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe if there's a
badass concert on Sunday, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but we're scheduled to fly out we'll fly out on Monday. Well, you know what? Before we get the flight back, we could get a flight back from Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we could stay and do like we did when we came back from L.A. that time and just get on the plane at, flying to Miami at 5, 6, 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Do the red eye.
Yeah.
And that way you get it's like having an extra day out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. We could do that.
All right, let me do a little test here. I brought everything up. I've got it evened out. Let me just do one run, and we'll be able to have fun at this guy's expense. Yeah. I love it.
Well, you got to this. I think it's Leonard Williams that they're talking about, if I'm correct. I think it's the Williams guy that they're having issues with, or they're trying to trade him, and apparently the communication between him and between Leonard and Gase hasn't been good, and then Gase is like, well, I never see him, and he's, I may see him in the training room, and then Manish goes after him like, well, do you talk to him? He goes, well, we don't have conversations in the training room. I see him in the meeting rooms. And so he goes, I don't really run into him too much.
I think we have success.
We do? Okay, let's do this.
As successful as we can be. You know, I mean, the sound, you know how it's going to sound. Right. The interviewers, it's up there.
Right.
Okay? But Gase, you'll be able to get the gist of what this clown is trying to say.
Choice Mortgage Bank is a proud sponsor of our program. And, folks, we can still get you into a fixed mortgage rate under 3.5%. Hey, listen, if you need to stop getting that runaround from the mortgage company, which doesn't everybody need that? Maybe you've been declined by the bank. Maybe you're looking for the right mortgage company and you want to live that American dream. Please call Choice Mortgage Bank. Proud sponsor of ours. They help us here make this happen. They can help you make it happen there in your life, folks. So call Michael Kodsey, the owner, right now. 561-441-2730. We can get you into a fixed mortgage rate under 3.5%. Military veterans, 0 down, 100% financing, and they do it all. Wholesale, conventional, residential loans, condo loans, reverse mortgages, jumbo loans, FHA, VA loans. Call them right now for free qualification and consultation. Hey, fixed mortgage rates under 3.5%. 561-441-2730.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, welcome back. Coming to you live from Hialeah Park, and we thank the Brunetti family, Frank Fiore, all the great people out here, man. I haven't seen Steve Calabro. Where is Steve Calabro? I have not seen him here, but anyway.
That lunch was phenomenal.
Wasn't it?
Oh, my. That's why, like, on the way, I was like, no. I'm waiting till I get to Hialeah Park, man.
Yeah.
This is the place to eat.
I encourage you guys, man. We come on out here on Fridays, join us. We got couches and chairs all over. You can watch the show while we're doing it. You can gamble. You can watch the games.
This is the casino lobby.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So really, and the food is awesome. It is so good, the food here at Hialeah Park. So come on out here on Fridays, 1 to 4. We're out here jamming and having some fun. We got to have some fun at Adam Gase's expense. And listen, we never get enough of Adam Gase. And he is entertaining because he's such a goofball.
I was going to say, you should send him a thank you letter.
I know.
He's giving us some high-quality stuff here.
I should. I definitely should. So let's play a little Adam Gase. This is his press conference yesterday. And Manish Mehta from the New York Daily News, he's going to be pretty much the main reporter that you're going to hear a lot with a lot of questions. And you can see how much he's already pissing off and frustrating Adam Gase. You guys want to hear a pissed off, frustrated Adam Gase? Let's do it.
Hammer him.
Week or so. I mean, do coaches in general go talk to guys that they know are not going to play, or do they just kind of have conversations with those that they know are definitely going to play?
I mean, the problem is you don't see a lot of these guys because they're in the training room. You see them in meetings, but a lot of times you're speaking to the guys that are playing.
So it's not abnormal then. It's just kind of.
How did Sam look yesterday? What he was able to do?
He's fine. He's just sore.
So he's good to go or something?
Yeah, I mean, as long as nobody steps on him today, we'll be all right.
What are the chances Chris is going to play Sunday? Does he have to go?
He's got to. Yeah, but I mean, he hadn't practiced in forever. It's his training camp. Yesterday was his first day of kind of really getting mixed in there and individual and stuff. He's got some improvement to make still.
Do you view yourself as the leader of this team?
Yeah.
Do you think leadership entails communicating with players?
I'm doing the same thing that I do with every other guy.
Well, you just said that you haven't spoken to Kelechi. Do you not speak to any of your players?
When they're in the training room, I'm not having a meeting with every guy. Am I supposed to have a meeting with every guy?
I'm just asking if you had one conversation over the course of weeks when you're both in the same building.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I've seen him in meetings.
How big of a facility is this?
It's pretty big.
Anybody else have anything? With CJ, what is your level of concern?
You gotta love the PR guy. Anybody else got anything?
I don't know. It's whatever they're going to tell us here in the next 24 hours.
Adam, after
I don't know though. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Does he said he feels discomfort?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys saw him. I mean, he's struggling. He was struggling last game.
After a game like Monday's, do you seek Sam out for individual conversation? Do you feel the need to have a pep talk with him? Anything like that?
No, I mean, he was in here Tuesday. Just kind of talked through some stuff. Kind of some of the things that we wanted to do different, things that we should have, adjusted during the game that could have helped us. we kind of just went through a little bit of the kind of after action kind of deal.
I think post-game you allowed for the idea like a game like that can scar a young quarterback. How do you see Sam respond?
All right, so this sounds really tough, right? But Gase is being criticized because Kelechi Osemele is having a disagreement with the team, okay? And he didn't show up for a surgery that he was supposed to have for relieving pain, and they used it as an unexcused absence and continued fining him. So this is how the story goes. So let me read it for you guys because you can hear how he's frustrated. But this is the thing, I wish you could really hear the interview because the sound is
when they're in the training room, I don't talk to them. I don't see them. The only guys I see are the ones that are playing.
It gets even more touchy as it goes on. But anyway, the head coach stammered at a morning press conference without showing any accountability for this mess. He became agitated multiple times and failed attempts to deflect responsibility, which that's what Gase does. Gase evidently didn't receive the memo that his job description calls for more than just being the offensive play caller. He actually has to manage players and people too. Now, the problem is Kelechi Osemele is having a standoff with the organization over the severity of his injury. Osemele admitted Wednesday that the head coach had not had a conversation with him in weeks. Although Osemele, who will undergo shoulder surgery on Friday after getting a third opinion this week that confirmed his labrum was torn off the bone, didn't speak with resentment. It was still a stunning admission. Real leaders communicate with their players rather than pretend that they don't exist. I haven't seen him, Gase says. I mean, he's in the training room. We're in meetings and things like that. We haven't had any conversations. To hear Gase tell it, the team's training facility might as well be Mall of the Americas. How big is the facility? It's pretty big, Gase says. Evidently, the place is gigantic enough to where the head coach can't locate the player. Full disclosure, the trainer's room is literally next door to the coach's office. They share a wall. Gase pointed reporters to the front office when asked whether the team's stance on authorizing Osemele's surgery has changed. That's a fair response by a coach, even though true leaders would take the extra step and go to bat for their players and urge management to greenlight the surgery and put an end to this self-inflicted PR nightmare. You have to ask those guys, said Gase of the front office personnel. I haven't been involved in this. My job is to coach the team. Which, by the way, he's the one that wanted to get involved in personnel. It was vintage Gase, strategically insulating himself from the blame. The Jets have not released any statement or made general manager Joe Douglas available. However, the Players Association released a statement Thursday morning in support of Osemele, who has filed a grievance as the organization continues to fine him for refusing to practice in pain. You believe that? The guy's injured, and they're fining him for not practicing in pain, and he needs shoulder surgery. A dude that needs surgery, and you're fining him. It's crazy. Our union supports every player's right to a second medical opinion, workers' compensation, and the best medical care, the NFLPA said in a statement. It's not appropriate or ethical for employers in any line of work to dictate the medical care and treatment of any employee. We are all considering all options to protect Osemele as we would for any of our members, although it's reasonable for Gase to expect the front office to handle the particulars of signing off on surgery. That doesn't absolve him from treating Osemele like the plague. Interpersonnel skills are a job requirement. The notion that Gase, who spends 15 or so hours each day in the building, didn't have a few minutes to talk to a starter that he repeatedly praised all offseason is the epitome of terrible leadership. I mean, I'm not going to get into all of this situation, Gase says. It is what it is. He hasn't asked me to talk to He hasn't asked to talk to me. If he wants to talk to me, he can come to my office. Maybe this shouldn't be entirely surprising given that Gase has a history of alienating players as the Dolphins head coach. Yeah, 3 guys in 15 years, Gase quipped about realizing that he's only been a head coach for less than 3.5 seasons. That's what I just said. When Gase was reminded that players like Jarvis Landry, Jay Ajayi, Rashad Jones, Jawan James, and Jordan Phillips voiced their displeasures for various reasons, he says, what's that, 5 in 15 years? Again, it's been less than 4, and that's a sampling of players who weren't thrilled with Gase. They're getting...
You get a cortisone shot, you get out there and practice.
And this guy is just a piece of crap. He just is. It's just terrible. And why would any player want to come to the Jets to play for a head coach with A, losing record, B, a history of alienating players, and C, a complete disregard for current player in pain? Well, you'll have to ask them, Gase says. You have to ask them.
You know something? This is going to get worse because this cave-in, obviously, leaving the Dolphins, he goes to the Jets. He thinks
going to New York, bro.
He thinks he's like got away. Like, look at me, and this thing is caving in with the quickness. He's going to get worse.
He got rewarded for being an asshole here. Okay.
Yeah.
He got rewarded for
Bottom
it.
line.
And he so because he was an a-hole here, he then gets rewarded. Okay. And because he gets rewarded, he feels that everything he did in Miami was right. That's all it is. And this is how you reward him, with a contract. So he feels like he's the guy, and you can't do anything to him. He's Teflon. I mean, listen, we warned, people about him overall. I had that conversation with Manish. So that's why next week when we bring on Manish, I'll bring it up to him and say, well, I told you so, because, it's...
So unlike the Teflon Don, he's the Teflon coach?
No, he ain't no Teflon. Because it didn't last long here, and it's lasted
this thing
months.
Is going sour.
Oh, it's already gone sour.
But it's going to start to curdle. It's going to get ugly.
His people skills suck. He's got terrible people skills. He just doesn't know how to get along with people. Doesn't know how to communicate. That's a huge problem, man. You can't communicate? Are you kidding me? That's why this whole story now with
like you said in New York, with all the different papers and all the reporters they have. Yeah, this is going to get ugly.
Yeah, he's used to seeing 15, 20 people in Miami. He sees 50 every day in New York, man. 50. And they're all competing, so they're going to be pretty aggressive. And when things like this happen, they will go after you in a big-time way. So no Butler next 2 games. Kid's going to have to grow up quick. Is it really? No 2 games? I did not hear that. Is that true? Is that news? I did not know that. I didn't know is Butler out for the next 2 games? I thought he was supposed to play tomorrow. That's interesting. I just saw, I think it was Tommy that sent it to me.
You know what? Think about it. They're flying out today.
Oh, yeah. Look.
They're flying out today, so they would know if he got on the plane and whatnot,
Ira Winderman says Jimmy Butler is now a dad, and he'll miss the next 2 games. So he is out. So they said
he must have been listening to the show yesterday and all that maternity leave talk and stuff like that. I want my couple of days like O had.
Well, during Friday's practice, Heat coach Eric Spoelstra announced that Butler will not travel with the team for its 2-game road trip against Milwaukee and Minnesota due to him becoming a father. Jimmy is now a proud father, and he has a baby daughter, Spoelstra said. The rest, I'll let him give you the details. Everything has obviously been unbelievable news in the last 24 hours. We're thrilled for him and really excited to add his daughter to our Heat family. Butler missed the team season opener, yada, yada, yada. Jimmy's not going to be here tonight, Spoelstra said on Wednesday. It's for a personal reason. Everything is fine. Everything is good. And thank God everything is good. So bouncing baby girl, nice and happy, nice and healthy. That's all that matters. So that's good. And I don't have a problem with it.
Hold on, man. You got your wish because yesterday you were all about, hey, Butler, go ahead and take a couple days.
Yeah.
Let's see the young guys, what they can do. Look at what they did the other night.
I know what this season's about anyway. It's not like, they're going to go win a title. So it's all right. Yeah, I don't mind. I want to see the young guys.
Well, you saw what Milwaukee.
I'm not putting Kendrick Nunn in my starting lineup next week, but I want to see the guy.
You saw what Milwaukee did to Houston, right?
Yeah. No, Milwaukee's going to destroy Miami. But I still want to see.
So that wonderfulness that we had opening
night.
No,
I'm good with it. No, I want to see the young guys.
But what I'm saying, we're going to come back down.
They're not going to win with
reality
Butler.
With the quickness.
No. What I'm saying is they weren't going to win with Butler anyway. But I want to see the young guys play. I just want to see how they play, without the veteran,
without the guy.
See how they do, because they did a nice job against a bad team. Now let's see what they do against a
based
really
on
good
their
team.
performance and the way they played. Those guys have earned those minutes. It's kind of cool that they are going to get, a benefit because man, they did look really good.
Yeah. Although Jimmy Butler would be a slight upgrade over Tyler Hero
Do you incorporate Silva based on those 10 or 11 minutes he gave you in the fourth, the way he played? Like you got to get him in the game more, right?
Well, I don't know about more, but you have to get him in the game. I know he played 11 minutes, whatever. I don't know how much more you're going to give him. But, yes, I definitely want Silva in there for sure. I want all the young guys. Nunn, Tyler Hero. I want to see every young guy out there, man. That's what this is about.
So they need to take a page out of the Dolphins' plan, utilizing players. Get them out there.
Well, they've been in a youth movement kind of deal. Besides having the bums that they had signed to long-term contracts, they had a youth movement going with Winslow and Bam already. So drafting Tyler and adding Kendrick Nunn now and the Silva kid, this is really, really good for them because you got to develop something down the line, and maybe one of these guys can turn into a really, really good player. Okay?
Well, and like you said, that's what we need to not put all that burden on Butler, and he can last more than the 2 to 3, maybe get a fourth or a fifth decent year out of him, which would all the money we got. What is it, a 5-year?
Yeah.
Money, yeah. We want it. Yeah, he needs to have something in the tank in that 4th and 5th year, man.
Myron says, the Clippers are the real deal. They got depth. I watched the game last night. Too much for the Warriors. My Lakers need to get Iguodala. Yeah, your Lakers are definitely going to they're going to be great this year. Your Lakers are going to be awesome, Myron. But the Clippers are better. They're just the best team in the league. And no Paul George. Wait till they get my guy Paul George back because I drafted Paul George.
I just love that the Lakers are second fiddle in their own city.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like you, I know people inside the Dolphins organization, and many complained about Gase, compared him to Saban when communicating within the organization. Yeah, Gase is a clown, and that's. I'm glad they're finding out now in New York what kind of a clown he is. Roberto Pereira says, "Hey, Big O, I'm glad I can hear you. I miss you on the radio." Well, sir, I got to be completely honest. I don't miss being on radio anymore. I don't. We don't need radio. It's an on-demand world. Now you can get the sound check, our music show. You can get the Big O show on demand every single day. I don't have any restrictions. If we want to do the show a little earlier, Bill and I do it earlier. If we need to do it a little later, we do it a little later. If we want to go out of town, we can go out of town. And it doesn't stop me. If I want to talk about music or I want to talk about farting, I can do it. And I don't have to have a program director on my ass telling me what I can
talk
and
about
cannot
not
do.
Going to baby showers.
Yes, whatever. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I am kind of tired of the radio business. I'm tired of the thieves in the radio business, people that actually steal from employees. I'm tired of in people that don't know nothing about this business, have never done a radio show themselves, yet they're your bosses, and they don't know anything about this business. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. And I'm super blessed here that I don't need a radio station. Okay? We don't. I mean, we're pacing for over 1 million in our first year of downloads. So we're fine.
That's because of you guys.
Yeah, you guys are because I wouldn't have been able to do this 5-10 years ago. Making this switch was going to be impossible. But where we are now, you get home, it's Netflix, it's Amazon Prime, it's YouTube, whatever. Your music, you're going to iTunes, you're going to Pandora, you're going to all those on-demand things, right? And now talk. I mean, look what they've done to the 2 sports stations. And that's, by the way, what they keep doing to the 2 sports stations helps me. Because they've got very little programming left. A couple of the shows don't even talk sports. They're not really sports. So you don't really have a lot of options left in South Florida to go and get your sports. This is one of them. There aren't a lot of them.
We
happen to be one of them.
We just did a first, by the way.
What's that?
When I'm labeling the shows, Big O 1025 second show first hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A first for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this. We're in 2 sponsors today. We were at Craig's Inn Acura in the morning, and now we're at Hialeah Park in the afternoon. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I can now. I wouldn't be able to go to Vegas to go host a draft for 3 days. You know what they would do in radio. We're going to do the first round. After the Dolphins pick, we'll interview the pick, and then we're done. We'll do a 2-3 hour broadcast, and we're done. That's all they want you to do. Look at what's going on in radio. It's disgusting what's going on in radio. So I really don't miss it.
Well, like you said, with the corporate buying up all the mom and pops, there is no more local. Most of the stuff, like you said, is syndicated and it's national.
Right.
As far as local flavor, there is none.
Look what they've done at QAM. There's one local show. One local show. From what that station used to be to now, it has Joe. That's it, nothing else. And it only has Joe because Joe hasn't retired yet. Another year, maybe 2, I don't know. I don't think Joe has much more left. I think he's pretty close to calling it quits. Once he does it, then that whole station is syndication. That's it. It gets worse and worse and worse, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care about you. They don't take your phone calls anymore. I'm trying to figure out a way to do phone calls on the go for you guys. And all they want to do is eliminate you guys. They don't use you. They don't care. They don't care about the listener. They care about anything. Trust me, I've dealt with it for many years. I've dealt with the incompetence. I am super blessed that we have a strong base of sponsors and understand that this is the future. It's already here now, but what I'm saying is this is just going to grow more and more and more because more and more of you are podcasting every single day, whether from Joe Rogan to anything else that you like. And you're finding this and that, and you're going away. Radio's dying. Look at the ratings for QAM. Did it go? I think it came out. It was like a 0.3 something. You guys aren't listening to radio that much anymore. You're listening more to on-demand stuff when you get in your car. Our downloads on morning drive and afternoon drive, the spikes are through the roof. Starting like at 3 o'clock. Okay? Yeah, no, 2 o'clock. Starting in the 2 o'clock, in this hour here, on to 10 o'clock at night, there are spikes, and it's not just here, because Los Angeles is in our top 15 in download cities. Every week in the last 2 months.
Thank you, LA.
Top 15. So they're actually listening out in the West Coast. So I really do not miss radio. No more politics. I don't have to deal with anybody anymore. We control everything. And I think that's best for you guys. It's best for us. It just is. It's really cool. So, and I thank all of you out there for supporting the crap out of us. It's the best. And you're spreading the word. And this is, our independence is better for you. Because that's how sports radio used to be. when we had all kinds of smaller companies owning radio and there was all kinds of competition. Now it's 4 companies own all the radio stations in the country, pretty much. And so that's why they're putting DJs on 200 stations across the country, because they don't care about any locals. They don't care about a local host that lives in the town, that bleeds the town, that can communicate with you guys because we all live here, right? But they don't care about that stuff, man. One guy says, you sound like Howard Stern after he left radio and went to Satellite Freedom. Yeah, I just need his bank account. But yeah, I kind of feel that way. Why did radio stations stop taking phone calls? Because they think you guys bring down the station and bring down the shows. That's why. That's exactly what they say. That callers are no good for radio shows. So they want you to listen. They want you to buy the advertising, but they don't want to talk to you. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. What are you going to do? It's crap that I've had to fight forever. And let me tell you something. I lasted longer than I thought I would. I really did. And that's because, obviously, I bring in enough sponsors that, I mean, when I was at QAM, only Joe Rose had more sponsors than I did. So they, money. That's what drives it all for them. So I guess they would put up with me because of that. Because obviously most of the guys that they have there.
That guy's a pain in the butt, but he brings them money. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were going to get complaints from me because obviously, I'm not going to be the guy that is the fluff. So your Dolphins are going to complain and, they're going to call and, he's ripping the team. Forget that he's right, but he's ripping the team. That kind of stuff. So what can I tell you? I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't care. And I'm at a point in my life that I don't have to. That's really what it's at. I'm at a point where I can do this. And you guys are super supportive. I'm so blessed. I've always had a great connection with listeners because you guys know I'm you. That's why we relate. You're going to see when we're in Vegas and we're hanging out with 300 Dolphin fans, I'm going to be embracing with all of them because listening to me is listening to them because I say what they want to say. I say what you are thinking. I say what you're seeing. I'm not afraid to do it, whereas 80% of the people that do this, they worry about the repercussions. I don't. I never have and I never will. I've always thought, listen, I'm always going to be respectful to human beings, period, in general. But if you suck as a coach, I'm going to say you suck as a coach. That's not being disrespectful. I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about how you look. I'm not talking about if, you're super skinny or super fat or whatever it is you are. I'm not taking any shots there. I'm going to talk about what you do as a coach. Okay? That's it. That's how we're going to keep it. But just because the team's on the station, it was never going to stop me from criticizing a player, a team, firing them, whatever. I was going to say, and I was going to speak my mind. And then I had to deal with the program director calling me in after the show going, do you have to want the head coach fired? I mean, I've had that. It's like, well, wait a minute. Have you seen what's going on? I know, but they're our partner. And I'm getting phone calls. So,
you know what?
Those days are done, man. I'm not dealing with that anymore.
Other than that, man, the way you are about your sponsors, okay? And I got to check this out. I got to see how they are.
Of course.
The fact that you drive Acura, and you point out, people talk about this dealer, that dealer. What are they driving? Not one of those. You have integrity there. And that's money, Okay, but
I can't
if
tell
it's
somebody
not
to
real,
go
right.
eat that food if I don't eat it myself, and I can't tell you to go drive a car if I wouldn't drive it myself. I can't do that. It's not who I am. Because I've seen those guys that they're doing a Chevy commercial and they're driving a Toyota. It's like, what? How are you telling people to go buy Chevy and you're driving a Toyota? How are you telling people to go buy a Toyota and you're driving a Subaru? Not that there's anything wrong with any of those. I'm just saying it's odd. You know, that kind of stuff. Oh, Joe is not even close to you. Nah, man, Joe's great, dude. I got nothing. Joe's fantastic, dude. I'm not picking on anybody personally. That's not the business is what I'm picking on. We're just slaves to the business. That's all. But I'm not willing to be its bitch. I'm just not. And I never felt, you know, why also? I'll give you a little insight. The guys that have no power, as in sponsors, no power in social media, no leverage whatsoever, those are the guys that usually end up towing the company lines because they know they have no power. Those of us that have some power, we can actually, you know, because they're going to have to tolerate it a little bit. It's the way it is. So it's a screwed up business. It really is. And it's the worst it's ever been. I mean, it's really started getting bad like 15 years ago till now. It's really like the last 15 years where the business has gone to don't even ever get into radio.
You've said it's even started to seep into the satellite.
Yes.
Radio end of things. You think that there would be a bastion of, you know, not falling into that umbrella of corporate.
Yeah, there's a little bit. There's a little bit of it.
It's even getting there.
Yeah, it's even getting there. It's not so bad in satellite. There's still some good things about satellite, but yeah, there's its share of politics too that are sad. I mean, listen, a lot of jobs have it, you know, but that's the beauty of where I'm at right now, that we can actually do this instead and have the freedoms of talking about anything we want, anything you guys want. You guys can interact and give me, you know, send me any kind of questions and things like that, and we can talk about it. I'm not worried about it, you know, and it doesn't affect me now. Look, fantasy basketball. You think I would be able to add fantasy basketball? At any way, shape, or form, you think I could add fantasy basketball? Hell no. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break here for the top of the hour, and we'll get ready for the final hour of the program. In this hour, Chris Long is going to join us at the bottom of the hour from WinwoodSports.net. Don Henrik from Lanco Fin Fan Club in Pennsylvania. Every Friday in the afternoon, we have a president from a different Doll fan club. You think they're going to do that on radio? You think they're actually going to interact with Fins fans presidents all over the world?
The way they're losing, the potential of them going off and going sideways. No,
it's just
not right now.
They don't even want to take phone calls. So why would they even do that? That's what I'm saying. That's why this show is your show.
Heads up.
That's what we're trying to create here. It's your hub where you're going to be able to talk sports in general, national stuff. Obviously, I have a local flavor for Miami, so you're going to hear a lot of Dolphins and a lot of Heat, a lot of Canes, Panthers, Marlins, all that good stuff that we have down here. But obviously, I'm going to talk about everything in general, but that's what I want. This is what we're trying to create, is a place where all of us can come together and interact and talk and have some fun. Okay? All right, let's do this. Let's take the break.
Just a little info. Yesterday, we missed it. We're making up for it today. Linkin Park, great album, Hybrid Theory.
Yes.
Anniversary of release was yesterday.
Nice.
That's why we've been jamming the Hybrid Theory. And, of course, you know, it's got 12 songs. I'm only playing 4. 8 are left out.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Do it. Let's go. Back in a couple minutes here. Give us about 2 minutes, and we're back with hour number 3. 5 overall. Back with more.
You love the way I look at you. While taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away decorations under a sky of dust. A constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Why is it my night today? Something in here's not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I got left. I don't know what stressed me first and how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head. Like a face that I hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that I watch every time I lie, face that laughs every time I fall. It urges everything. So I know that when it's time to sink or swim, the face inside is hearing me right underneath my skin. It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. I know I've got a face in me, points out all my mistakes to me. You got a face on the inside too. Your paranoia is probably worse. I don't know what set me off first, but I know what I can't stand. Everybody acts, and the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can. But everybody has a face that they hold inside. Face that awakes when I close my eyes. Face that watches every time they lie. Face that laughs every time they fall. It urges everything. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is watching you too, right inside your skin. It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like a paranoid. Watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna bow at one. It makes me think of how you act for me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy. A place for my head. Maybe someday I'll be just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous, but you should have known that you wear out your welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this.
Stuff is amazing.
Will I find a place to rest? I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your
All right. Hour number 5 of the day. Number 3 here in Hialeah. Hialeah Park, baby. We're in the second floor poker room where they're getting massages while they're playing a little poker. It's a beautiful thing to get a massage while you're playing poker.
That is just too freaking cool.
You got your food, you got your massages, you got your captain's chairs, you got TVs everywhere. You got a non-smoking casino.
The good service.
And the service is second to none, of course, from the lovely ladies out here at Hialeah Park. So come on out and enjoy it all. Take it all in. Tomorrow you can be here getting a massage at noon, eating some lunch, and watching the Canes play Pittsburgh.
You're going to need this nice environment to ease the
pain.
Canes, yeah.
The Canes' pain. So while the Canes are losing, you're winning because you're getting a massage. You're winning because you're eating great food. You're winning because the service is amazing. You're winning because there's no smoke here. You're winning because the games are on. I mean, it's a win-win.
I'm being told in my ear that, like, every day there is some drink special. Every day there is a food special. Like, for that, just cost.
That's it.
Come.
That's right. Well worth it, man. So come on out to Hialeah Park and have some fun. We'll be out here for another hour having a little fun at 3:30. Chris Long will join us from Winwit Sports. He'll give us his picks. Looking forward to that. As always, if you want to get in on the program, all you got to do is reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show there on Twitter. Many ways to communicate, and of course, been very active on the YouTube view. If you want to send in on the chat board on YouTube, you can also do that. USC in Colorado tonight on ESPN2 at 9 o'clock. We got the Dolphins playing Pittsburgh on Monday night. I would imagine Monday we'll talk a lot of Canes and we'll talk a lot of Dolphins. I would think leading up to that Monday night game. The Heat are off today. Saturday they're in Milwaukee. We just heard now where Jimmy Butler is out for the next 2 weeks, or the next 2 games, I'm sorry, since he just had a baby girl. And congratulations to Jimmy Butler. That is pretty cool.
You're the one that planted the seed for him to take a couple more days off, by the way.
Why not? Why not? Hey, Big O, listening to you right now from Disney. I just did Millennium Falcon twice today. It was amazing. If you ever get the chance, go to Disney and try it, dude. I've been dying to do, obviously, the Star Wars and go to the Star Wars area. And then I want to do the Harry Potter thing. Isn't that at Universal? Is that Universal?
That is a Universal thing. That used to be Fire and Ice.
The dragon one?
Right. Back in the day, that whole area has been transferred.
Right. So
you go through, I guess, Dr. Seuss, and then you walk over and you get into Harry Potter's place.
Okay. I haven't done that one either. So I want to do the first Star Wars for sure, because I'm a total Star Wars geek. And then the other one is definitely the Harry Potter. Not that I'm a big Harry Potter guy, but I still want to experience it.
You know what? They say the ride is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I
heard.
My wife and my daughter did the ride.
Man, I got to tell you, the Star Wars
thing. They went
up
there a couple weeks
back. My guy's always been Darth Vader, man. I want to be at his chamber, whatever. I'm sure there's something for Darth Vader. There's got to be. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darth Vader. Yeah, that's the guy.
I can see that. Lots of people feel the same way about the Vader man. That's like their favorite character. That's been kind of the norm out there. What else do we have going on? Jarvis Landry backtracked a prediction, I guess. He was ready to predict that the Cleveland Browns are going to beat the New England Patriots, and then he said, no, I didn't say that we're going to beat the New England Patriots. We're going to go up there to win the game. Kind of like that kind of stuff. He goes, another week, another non-guarantee guarantee. Meeting with reporters on Thursday, receiver Jarvis Landry declared regarding Sunday's game in New England, we're going to win. Via Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, Landry quickly clarified his comments, saying that he meant that the Browns are going there to win. Eagles coach, as you know, Doug Peterson, made a similar remark last week before taking the position that it wasn't a guarantee that Philadelphia would beat Dallas. Landry isn't trying to thread that needle. He's simply saying that he didn't mean to say the Browns will win. That, of course, is a smart play by Landry, says there in the article. Or somebody called him out and said, yo, did you just make a guarantee? And then it's like, yeah, we're playing the Patriots. You may not want to do those kind of things with that team. Not that the Patriots really need to, what's it called?
They come across as the last team that needs that bulletin board to inspire them.
Yeah,
I think Belichick.
But why add the extra sauce?
Don't throw fuel on the fire, please.
Yeah, because that's the part that it's like, and the Browns, man, you haven't arrived yet. You haven't accomplished anything if you're the Cleveland Browns. Just shut up already. I mean, the Patriots can talk all they want, and they don't. They don't say a word, because that's the way. That's the Patriot way. That's what they do. Let the talking on the field. Win the games. Get to the AFC Championship game. Get to the Super Bowl. Win the Super Bowl. Then when you got that trophy in your hand, celebrate, go crazy. That's
Yeah,
what they
but
do.
you know what? Even
and
after
then
they,
it's done after that.
but even after they win a game, you got to pull teeth to get any information out of them. They still don't talk about their win.
Okay, but the game is fine. That's what I'm saying. But you got to love that because the time you see them celebrate is when they're done with the championship. That's when they celebrate. And then a week later, they're like, okay, done. Now we're turning the page. But that's when you're
is that our ring? No, I don't want. Just keep it in the box.
Yeah.
Just hand it to me. I don't even need to wear it. Thank you.
The Browns are a team that keeps buying their own hype. And this has been going on for years now, right? That people will talk up the Browns and all. And now I actually believe that they've got a team now. They've got some talent on that team. And they've got potential to do something, but they haven't done anything yet.
They're 2-4, right?
Yeah, so
they should be 4-2.
Whatever. You are what you are, bro.
No, but like you said, the talent that they have,
Right.
they should be.
Right.
They shouldn't have gotten their butt kicked so badly
But it's
on
not
that
the
San
first
Francisco
team,
game.
It's not the first team you've seen that has underachieved
Oh,
because
here,
of
look
talent.
at my Bears. Look at my Bears.
Yeah, but you're not
Come on,
underachieving.
That's ridiculous.
Your Bears are not underachieving. Your Bears just don't have the quarterback, which creates all kinds of problems. That's all it is. There's nothing wrong with the Bears. If they actually had a quarterback, everything would fall into place. Everybody would play harder. Everything would work out because when you have a quarterback, there is that hope. That's the problem with the Bears.
Yeah,
They're all looking
receivers-
around going, damn, we're one guy. We need that one guy.
Yeah, literally.
Because if you don't have that guy, you're done. So
Look, those receivers, Robinson, Gabriel,
Yes.
Miller, Trey Burton was a nice little tight end.
No,
and
it's
Shaheen,
excellent.
they have two.
It's the quarterback.
There's absolutely no reason for that
But
team not to be freaking 4 or 5 wins.
the bottom line is that Cleveland always gets involved in these things. And it also doesn't help that you added Odell and you added Jarvis Landry and you added the biggest mouth of them all, Baker Mayfield. So that's not going
Bigger
to help
than
you.
Odell, really? You
Yes.
think? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Odell's an idiot, but Baker's got a mouth. You know what I mean? There's like a difference. Like Odell's just a moron, and Baker's got a mouth. And so you've got now, and you got Jarvis has also got a mouth too, and you're just shut up. If you're the Browns, do the Patriot thing. Just be quiet, man. Stop getting involved in any kind of controversy with any play. If you're Baker Mayfield, shut up, dude. Don't talk about Daniel Jones and then he shouldn't have gotten drafted or whatever it is. What are you doing? They're figuring your ass out. You're looking like a bust now. Not that you are, but you're looking like it until you get out of it. Jarvis Landry, dude, shut up. The Browns, just shut up. Do something. When you've accomplished something, then maybe you can talk.
Ryan's feeling a lot of pain right now.
Ryan?
Yes, Ryan Chance.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Cleveland guy.
Yeah.
You're killing
Yeah.
him right now.
No, I'm Ryan Shantz right now from CBD Coconut Creek. He's agreeing with me, like any logical Browns fan at this point. It
still hurts when you have like
you
my
realize
Bears.
that the
Look,
Browns
it
are
hurts.
involved in more controversies than they are in important games. Think about that. You're a football team.
Sounds like the Dallas Cowboys.
There you go. That's what you want. You want to be involved in important football games. You want people talking about important football games. You don't want people talking about your controversies only. And that's all we seem to talk about with the Browns. Rarely are we talking about anything on the field because rarely they ever accomplish anything on the field. And now you've got Jarvis Landry running his mouth. Just shut up in Cleveland. Just be quiet. Grow up. That's what you need. Grow the hell up already. It's just weird, man. I saw that story and again, same old. This is the same old Browns now. That's what this is. Same old Browns. That's basically what I'm looking at. They can say whatever they want, but it seems to me like the same old Browns. Let's get involved in controversies and let's not be productive whatsoever on the football field, because that makes all the sense in the world. Orlando Scandrick was taking some shots at the Eagles. I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys? And here's another bunch, right? How about the two extremes? The Browns haven't accomplished anything, and they're constantly talking like they have, like they're something, like they're something special, and they're one of the better teams in the league when they're not. Here are the Philadelphia Eagles, who no doubt won a Super Bowl a couple years ago, had a great year. It was one of those years, it was magical for the Eagles. Everything came together. They won their championship, and then their fans acted like the animals that they are and destroyed the city. So, Orlando Scandrick, who had a cup of coffee with the Eagles, he was released earlier this week, and apparently he says things are going awry there in Philadelphia. He told FS1 on Friday. Scandrick said he felt his release was the team trying to scapegoat him for last Sunday's loss to the Cowboys, and said that the team has some accountability issues there, and it starts at the top. He said he didn't believe anything Executive Vice President of Football Operations Howie Roseman said, and cited linebacker Zach Brown's release while wondering if head coach Doug Peterson should be let go for failing to deliver a promised win over the Cowboys. He was also asked about the locker room issues in light of the recent criticism of the offense from an anonymous player. Quarterback Carson Wentz said this week that everyone's good, but Scandrick feels otherwise. Let's just say where there's smoke, there's fire. That locker room is different. I'd tell guys when I came there that I felt like they were still living off that Super Bowl high. It's over. They're living in the past. Scandrick says the Eagles defense has some selfish people in the lineup. He avoided naming names, but he didn't need to say Malcolm Jenkins to know who he was talking about. Hard down. You need to take the hard job. You need to bring the thing together. I don't know if that's the case. You look at everything that happened. You hold out for a contract. You come in. You're not really making any plays like splash plays. Then you go down to Minnesota, and you're supposed to be in the half of the field, and you end up playing a crosser. That's not a rookie we're talking about. It's a two-time Super Bowl champ. The Eagles brought Scandrick back in late September after cutting him in late August. It's a good bet that he won't be back a third time. So, and I will say this, from everything we see with the Eagles right now, I think Scandrick did hit on something. And I would agree with them on this. To me, the Eagles are living off that championship from 2 years ago. We were at a point where we had people, especially Eagles fans, calling that a generational defense, which it certainly wasn't. And really, if you look at it, we're now a couple years removed. It gets to a point when it comes to turnover roster, by next year, there's going to be very few players left on that team that won a Super Bowl. And so when you're 3 years away, that team will not resemble the Super Bowl team. It will not be the same team. So they can't feel the same way. And at this point, we just were talking about the Patriots. And let's use the Patriots again as an example. The Cleveland Browns need to be the Patriots. And they need to shut up, go out and play the game, and go accomplish something. Just like the Patriots. They're quiet. They don't say a word. You know, the Eagles also need to take a page out of the Patriots. Because after the Patriots win a title, they turn the page. They forget about it. They move on. What a concept. And the Eagles clearly have not moved on from that championship. They won that championship, and they OD'd on themselves, is basically what they did. So it's interesting that you have two extremes, a team that did accomplish something and can't forget about it, and a team like the Browns that's never accomplished anything, and they act like they have. Wow. That trips you out right
Those
there.
Browns fans deserve better.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Browns fans. The Browns fans deserve a championship, man. Those people lost their team to the Ravens, and the Ravens went on to win 2 titles now since they left Cleveland.
A lot of that Ozzie Newsome.
Well, all of it is Ozzie.
Yeah, man.
Well, he was with the Browns.
Bottom line.
Yeah, everything's Ozzie.
Great GM.
Yeah, no doubt. Hall of Fame GM. Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame GM. Not even close. That one's not even up for discussion. Yeah. No, it's weird how these teams, they just don't get it. And you look at the Browns and you wonder, oh, okay, so you've gotten this window now and you're not taking advantage of it. It's odd. It really is. Because this is your shot here. And yet somehow or another, they can't get over the hump. All right, let me tell you about Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. 9 straight years, baby. They've been crushing the competition as the #1 dealer in the Southeast. 9 years in a row, and they got a big old sale going on right now, folks, because that's how they do it there at Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. 2019 model, the ILX is $199. 2020 models, the TLX is $259, the RDX it's $329, the MDX is $369, only $29.99. Do it signing plus tax tag and registration, folks. Hey, tell them that Big O sent you, and I promise you they're going to take care of you at the finest dealership in the business. It is Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. When we come back, we're going to give you the picks. Chris Long joins us every week in winwithsports.net. And he's on a roll. So let's get the latest there with Chris Long. His NFL and his college picks are next.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodzie now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Seen ghosts. Seen ghosts.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. We're going to rock and roll here. We're going to talk to my man Chris Long, of course, from winwithsports.net. You can reach out to him at 1-866-258-7060. That's 866-258-7060. He is on a roll. And I would imagine that, Chris, you're going to be picking the Dolphins, right, against the Steelers, right? You're going to pick them outright to win.
You know, we usually you slipped that one in on me, outright to win. We usually cover the Dolphins at the very, very end. But yeah, I mean, you know, we're on the same page, you and I, when it comes to the Dolphins. I can't stand when people say that they're tanky because it irritates the bleep out of me. But they are not. They're just not that good. They played. They tried hard. They had an excellent Buffalo team down in the second half. And that brutal Fitzpatrick, I mean, that's what he is, Fitzmagic. That brutal interception when they had a 1st and goal after a genius fake field goal call. I mean, that was just a killer. All the air was let out. And, it's not a tank. It's just they're not that good.
Yeah,
and we are on the same page there.
Yeah, because, see, the thing is, and what I've been explaining to people is, in the real world, you can go and buy a company and you can fire half your employees and you can replace them with the same amount of money because you've got it available. But in the NFL, when you eliminate a whole bunch of people, you got to take a cap hit. That's just the way. That's just the way it is, man. And so they've got to hold off for a year, but it's not like they're never going to use that money. Tanking is the Marlins. I keep explaining to people.
Exactly.
That's tanking. You're not trying to win every single year. These guys had to reset the franchise so they can go spend that money and use the draft picks and do all of that because all the Dolphins ever do is spend. I mean, that damn owner has put over $700 million into his stadium. The guy saved the tennis facility. He's building the practice facility. He signs any damn free agent that's out there. Stephen Ross is the last guy you talk about being cheap and going to tank. And they're resetting the damn franchise. That's what I tell people all the time.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and not just the Miami market. The Miami market thinks it. I mean, across the United States, I listen to all sports radio, gambling shows, and whatnot, and they just think that it's a tank, and they laugh about it. And I'm like, you guys couldn't be further from the truth. They're just not that good. If they were tanking, they wouldn't have a third quarter lead against a one-loss Buffalo team. Just wouldn't happen. But anyway, enough of those guys. We would have taken 17 if it stayed there. The number dropped down to about 14. We still might be on it, but I can't lose 3 points of value and give it out to you guys. You know, there's so many things that can happen between now and Sunday. All these plays are live. You know, that's why you got to get to me, you know, and get what we're playing and what our customers are playing. Here we like to have a lot of fun. We give you as much winners as we can, but you want that last-minute, up-to-date information. You know, check us out at winwithsports.net. All right, where are we going, Big O?
Well, let's go first college. Florida State and Syracuse. We got an over of 58. What are your thoughts on FSU and Syracuse over?
I mean, you guys can probably figure it out. I mean, I've written FSU over a couple of times. I always have some patterns with things that I do. Syracuse is brutally underperforming this year. I don't know what happened to them. And I really like Dino Babers. He's my kind of coach. I really like what he's got going. But this year, DeVito was a huge recruit, but I guess they missed Dungy more than anyone could have imagined. I mean, I know he was a good player, but we thought DeVito would step right in there and they wouldn't miss a beat. But, you know, Syracuse is having a terrible year, but one thing that they do, all right, you got Babers on one side, they play fast. They play quick, even if it's fast 3 and outs, Big O. I mean, even if it's fast punts. And the guy on the other side does the exact same thing. These are two extremely high-tempo, fast offenses. It's not translating to the amounts of points that they score, and it's not translating to wins, but it will translate into opportunities, all right? We have enough opportunities to push this game over 58. Probably a couple weeks back before these teams really started hitting the skids. This total should be in the 70s. I mean, it should be like an Oklahoma-West Virginia game last year. We see a lot of points. We see a lot of back and forth. We might see a lot of turnovers. We might see a lot of punts. But whatever we're going to see, we're going to see it happen quick. Go over 58 for a big bet.
All right, Michigan State +5 versus Penn State. What are your thoughts on this one?
We're going to go to the well again with this Michigan State team. I mean, they're an experienced team, bunch of returning starters that played in a bowl game last year, a capable starting quarterback. We just don't know what's wrong. Another team that's having a rough year, way under what their expectations are. But you know what? We're at home, and we're getting more than a field goal against a Big Ten rival. Penn State comes into town where they gave it everything. They had that whiteout last week, 110,000 strong. They put everything into that Michigan game. They were up 21-0 early, but they had to hang on. There was a dropped 4th and 3. I don't know who watched it in your audience or in the studio. It was a dropped touchdown pass on 4th and goal, under a minute to go, which would have put Harbaugh in a nice spot. Is he going to go for 2? Is he going to go overtime, or is he going to go for the win? We'll never find out because that ball was dropped. But they really put everything into that game. We look for a little bit of a letdown spot. We look for Michigan State, senior-laden, experienced, nice quarterback, solid defense, played Ohio State tough for a half and then got blown out just like everyone else does. But we think that this will be a strong effort. Circle this game. Michigan State plus the points. They're going to win outright.
All right, there you go. Michigan State +5 against Penn State. All right, here we go. The stinking New York Jets and Adam Gase. They're getting 6.5, and they're going to Jacksonville as a dog on the road. What's your thoughts?
Big O. Do you think we're going to see any ghosts in the crowd? I mean, this couldn't have been better timing. We got Halloween weekend coming up, or Halloween shortly thereafter, and we got the Darnold ghost comment. But we think that the Jets look atrocious on Monday night. You couldn't look any worse than they did. But again, you know me. When I see teams look very, very, very bad, we come back and jump on them because we have value. I don't see if Darnold, this is going to be his 3rd start in a row, his 4th in the year. If he's anywhere near where he's supposed to be, we don't see Jacksonville being a touchdown favorite over the Jets. The Jets, they everything that could have gone wrong went wrong on national TV, and that gives us a good spot. We think this line should be below like 3.5. We're taking 6.5. Give me that all the time.
There you go. All right. So you got Jets +6.5 against Jacksonville. The next one is you're going to stay in New York. The New York Giants +6.5 at the Lions. What do you think about that one?
Same thing here. I mean, the Giants, we've ridden them a couple of times on your show. We actually went against them one time on your show. We have a pretty good read with the Giants team. Kerryon Johnson going down for the Lions really hurts them. Detroit, after a little bit of a promising start, losing that game to the referees and Green Bay Packers on national TV, and then putting all their eggs in the basket with the Minnesota game this past week. We got 2 games that just really sucked the life out of this team. I don't see how they're going to get up for the New York Giants. I really don't see how that's going to happen. Again, you got to beat me by a touchdown. I don't see that happening. I see a field goal game either way. I see the Giants keeping it close. I don't know if they're going to pull one out, but I don't see it. I just don't see the Lions being that big of a favorite.
All right. So you've got the Giants +6 at the Lions. Browns are next. Jarvis tried to make a guarantee, but then he put it in reverse right away and backtracked like a corner. Browns are getting 13 points, and they're visiting the Patriots. What do you think about this one?
Again, everyone saw the Patriots, don't get me wrong, they're an excellent team. I'm not going to sit here and try to find chinks in the Patriots' armor, but I just don't see them being as good as everyone thinks they are. They played one of the easiest schedules not just this year, but like in the history of the NFL. I mean, they had the Jets twice. They had the Dolphins. They had the Redskins. I mean, they have just had a bunch of nobodies on the schedule. It's amazing. So I'm not really sold. Baker Mayfield, you know, he's gonna get it together one of these weeks. I mean, Tom Brady is looking old. He really is. He's looking old. I don't like their offense. Their defense is amazing. But again, this may be, and it's just sad to say, 8 weeks into the season, this may be the best offense that played this year, coming from a 2-win Browns team. But you remember that game they pulled off against the Ravens? Okay, so they have it in them. They really can pull this off. I don't see them losing by 14 points. Again, I could be, you know, sitting there with 2 Baker Mayfield fumbles and interceptions like Darnold did and be down 14-0 3 minutes in the game. Hey, I'm not saying that can't happen, but I'm going to put myself on the side of the 14 points, on the side of a team, Odell and Landry and Chubb and Baker, and I just see them doing enough to stay within 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns is a lot of points in an NFL game, Big O, and like I said, I just see them sneaking in there.
All right, there you go. Let's go over the picks for my man Chris Long. He's going to go with the over 58 between FSU and Syracuse. He's going to go with Michigan State +5 against Penn State. He's going to go with the Jets +6.5 at Jacksonville, the Giants +6.5 at the Lions, and the Browns +13 at the Patriots. And if folks want to get a little more insight, what are those magical numbers they need to use, Chris?
All right. You just wanted to give us, you know, come to the website. I'm going to do something special for all my internet players here. If we can get you to come to winwithsports.net, look me up, come take a look, and I'm going to discount all my packages 50% for all the Big O owners. But that's got to be on the website only, winwithsports.net. Anyone who comes from this program is going to get a 50% off of any package I offer.
Oh, there you go. So go to the website, winwithsports.net, and save that money and win that money, which is really what it's all about. Chris, as always, my brother, Studley stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you for the insight every single week here on the program.
Thank you, Big O. Still waiting for that Dolphins win. It'll come up one of these weeks. Take care, my man.
Week 16, Bengals. Be good, baby. Take it easy. There you go. I think it is. I think it's actually going to happen in Week 16. I really do.
We're both going to go into it 0-15, right? They're going to call it the first pick bowl.
Yeah, the Tua Bowl.
Well,
he's kind of considered the number 1 guy, so the Tua Bowl.
The kid from LSU is, chomping at the bit there, man.
Right. No, I'm not saying Joe Burrow doesn't have a chance to be the guy, but I'm just saying Tua is considered the number 1 guy on the board. So you say Tua Bowl.
As of right now, because of the injury thing, you're a little skeptical about him right now.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not big on injury-prone guys. Yeah, that's because he's had a few injuries now, different ankles and surgeries, and the NFL is a bitch. And he's not – if he gets drafted by the Dolphins, he's going to have a line that he will get hit. Because even if they add a couple of young guys next year, it's not like they're going to become the Wall of Montezuma.
You're not going to be able to get all 5.
No, and they're not going to learn like right away. They're going to be stout, and they're not going to allow anybody to get in. No, they're going to make a lot of mistakes because new lines and young players. That's a recipe for mistakes. Not that it will be a disaster, but you are going to take some hits. And I don't know if this kid is durable enough at this point.
Yeah, and the jump from college to pros, the guys only get bigger and faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Injury, body, like we always talk about, if you're an injury-prone guy, you're not playing. So you're not helping me. You're a 0.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, basically. I would have to agree with that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. The other way to reach out to us is on Twitter at Big O Show. As always, many ways to reach out to us. And on Instagram, Big O Radio Show. That's the other way to reach out to the program. And we thank Chris Long. And once again, if you missed out or you just tuned in late, Michigan State +5 versus Penn State. Jets +6.5 at Jacksonville. Giants +6.5 at the Lions. Browns +13 at the Pats. And take the over in the FSU-Syracuse game, over 58 points. There you go. Although I find it ballsy to take the Browns. Then again, it's 13 points. But still, the Browns have been so bad. And that Patriots defense is so good. Oh, hope you're doing well. Hey, if Manny doesn't work out next year, what about bringing in Herm Edwards to coach up to you, Bill and Simi? Bill, I don't think he's going to leave Arizona State, believe it or not. He's not. He just doesn't seem to me like the guy that is going to become a free agent coach. You know what I mean? Todd Grantham, right? Wasn't it Todd Grantham that took a job like, I think, Pitt, and then left to Arizona because no, it's – and I'm talking about he took Pitt's job in the offseason and like 2 months later in the offseason left them and went to Arizona. Or the other way around. I forgot how it went. I just don't see Herm like that. I think Herm is the guy that has some respectability to himself, and I think he's the guy that makes a commitment to Arizona State, and I don't think he coaches in another school ever again. If everything goes well in Arizona State, I don't think he ever leaves. I think he would be loyal to that program. And at his age, I don't think he wants to be doing something like that. I think he wants to find a permanent place that he can just have that run and then he's done. And I don't know how long this run's going to last. But overall, wow. He's done an excellent job, I got to say. So that would be my my answer to that, Bill. Not that I can't say he's doing a better job at Arizona State than I imagined. So I'm already wrong about Herm as it is. Okay, when it comes to his performance there at Arizona State. I'm super impressed. Bill, have you or Big O spoke to Don Henrik? He might need to No, I have. It's not Don. I made the mistake, by the way. It's not Don. They gave me the wrong name. It's not Don. We're not having Don on. My bad. It's not my bad. It's my acting producer that made a mistake there. He knows who he is. We're gonna have John Rex on. Actually, is who we're gonna have on. That's who we're having on. So John Rex is our guy that is going to join us, the Dolphin Club of Orlando. So that's the guy that's joining us next at the top of the hour. In a couple minutes, we will talk to John Rex.
We got a name change on the show.
Yes. John Rex is the name.
Yeah, I'm over here podcasting. I'm about to go call John and call him Don, and you could call me Ray and you could call me Jay, but you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
It's funny because somebody else sent me a text about that they had talked to Don and he wasn't expecting any calls. So we had a mix up in the audibles as it is, but that happens in live radio, baby. That happens in live radio.
Yeah, can we cut it any closer to that phone call? Yeah. I mean, we're 10 minutes out.
My man is cutting it really, really close. I love that. That's just absolutely fantastic. And thank you all out there. You see how and the text line is also just a great way to stay in contact with people. It really is. This is one of the at first I thought it was kind of weird. I go, should I add a text line to a podcast? But this is not really a podcast. This is a broadcast. It's not a podcast. It gets podcasted after, but it is a legit broadcast. So, since it is a broadcast, I said, yeah, man, let's get a text line. let's have that option. Excuse me, to interact with people. If I can't add the phone calls yet, which, by the way, have you talked to Los about that thing already with that program? If we can start doing that already?
No, and it's a situation where I think what we're going to have to do is do some kind of a modification to the board to open up another slot to be able to do that.
Oh, really? All right, well, whatever it takes. I'd like to do it. I'd like to add a phone line.
See, the hard part's going to be like
this.
We're going to call out and do the Bluetooth with the phone and somebody calling in. You know what I mean? And interrupting the call.
No, they can't because they would have to be.
No, but you're going to hear the beep off the phone, the call coming in the back.
You can't. The phone's not connected to the other program. It can't. It can't. It's two separate numbers. Nobody has your number. No, it does not join in.
Well, see, that's the thing. How are they going to?
I don't know how the program works.
We'd have to have a cell phone. Like right now, it would have to be a cell phone strictly for them to be able to call on us to Bluetooth it up.
No, I don't think that's how that program works. That program already has the number in it. It's not a phone. It's like potted through like that, like the iPad, and sends the volume through the board is what it does. And then you're able to talk back and forth and communicate. It's not really a phone.
Okay.
You're really pulling it up by the iPad.
Okay.
Is what it is.
Okay, so then
that's how I understand it.
So then if that's the case, then the line that's hooked up, like the phone line that's hooked up to my computer for me to drop sound.
No, it's not a phone line. It's all through digital. That's what it is. That's what that program is. Supposedly, I mean, that's what you got to ask. I already said that.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's got to be connected either by line or by Bluetooth. We've already got a Bluetooth.
No, it does not. It's not connected through line or through Bluetooth. It's connected through the internet. Yeah. No. It's completely different. It's a separate entity on its own. That's the way the package is set up because it's already through the internet. So they call in and they get connected through the internet,
okay,
and then it gets sent in.
But from that, we have to get it to the board.
Oh, yeah,
to get it up. That's what I'm saying.
But it's just an open channel. That's all it is.
Okay, but that's the thing. The two open channels to do that is Bluetooth or with the phone line.
Oh.
The Bluetooth is for the phone calls for the interviews, and the line is for the computer to be hooked up and get sound direct.
Oh,
you see what
I see.
I'm saying? There's going to have to be a modification to the
splitter
board to open right.
A splitter. That's probably what's
so you know
going
what?
to happen.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
It'll have to
Splitting
be
that
split.
phone line.
The one with the
Right.
with the
phone line.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It has to. Oh, I guess. I don't know. But there you go. We bored the hell out of you with that one. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. N'Kosi Perry will start for the Miami Hurricanes. What else do we have? We've got, besides that incident that Adam Gase had with the media and getting all flustered about Osemele, the Jets are trying to also trade Robbie Anderson. Did you guys see that? I found that weird because Robbie Anderson's owed $3.1 million. That's his salary this year, right? He's a free agent at the end of the year. He's a knucklehead, and he's gotten arrested several times. What are you giving a guy that you're basically renting for the end of the year? You're really not giving him a long-term contract. So what are you going to give up? And then they're also trying to trade Leonard Williams, who's in the final year of his contract, and he's a hell of a player. So they don't know. I mean, the Jets, man, they got the Osemele situation also going on. Sam Darnold is seeing ghosts. What a mess the Jets are. That you see that, it just leaves you like.
Any word on Le'Veon Bell trying to be traded? I mean, you know.
And he's not having a great year, which I kind of talked about.
Well, you expected that because of the offensive line.
I kept saying that this whole thing with Le'Veon, I'm like, hey, man, that line ain't that good. And Osemele, which is considered like the prize acquisition of that line, is having shoulder surgery. Let's see. Ian O'Reilly says, "Hey-o, is it me? Or is Balaj one big soft as cotton running back? Why even give him any more carries? Jeez." I wouldn't call him soft, but there is finesse to his game. Now, remember, he's a big guy, but he's also kind of nimble. So you get that kind of impression. But whenever he has to try to hammer it in there, I think he does a decent job overall. But I don't know. I wouldn't go to the point that I would call him soft. I just think that he has an athletic game to him. And because he's a big guy and you're trying to be quick and all that, you got to kind of be light on your feet. And you're not necessarily going to be a heavy stepper and a guy that is trying to punish and punish and punish. And here's the other thing. Maybe that's not his game. Marshawn Lynch likes to punish, right? Some other backs may not be that kind of back that likes to punish. I'm trying to think of one now that adds a lot of finesse to his game and isn't necessarily a contact type guy. I mean, Reggie Bush was that, but he was more of a pass catcher than anything. And I wouldn't call him soft. I would never call Reggie Bush soft. I think Reggie Bush is as tough as anybody. It just wasn't his game. And maybe Balaj doesn't want to be a hammer. You know what I mean? Maybe and because he does have a level of athleticism for a big guy, he wants to use that as an advantage for him. All right, John Rex is going to join us on the other side. We're going to take a short break here, and then we'll talk to the president of the Pennsylvania Fin Fan Club. We do want to remind you that the Big O Show is proudly brought to you by Caneswear. And, folks, they got it all there, the hats, the jerseys, all kinds of stuff. Go to 2511 South University Drive in Davie. It's a new and large store. It is a ginormous store. They've been in it for about a year, something like that, a little over a year. And go to the website, caneswear.com. You're going to love it there because you're going to see all the items. And remember, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. So if you can't travel to Davie, you live too far, you live out of the state, go to caneswear.com. They've got all the stuff, the coach's sideline polos in 5 different colors. They've got the largest selection of Canes T-shirts anywhere, over 100 different shirts there. I'm telling you, Panthers. They've got Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, and Inter Miami products also, and the parlay jerseys are out. And if you don't know anything about the parlay jerseys, they use recycled ocean plastic yarn to promote a more sustainable way of living. And all this stuff that was going to pollute our waters, they made them into jerseys. And they are so cool. They did it last year. They're doing it again, and they look awesome. The parlay jerseys, okay, you can save 20% on them by using my code, BIGO20P. BIGO20P, and you will get 20% off the parlay jerseys at Caneswear Miami Fanwear. That's the spot where fans like me shop.
Title it includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
You love the way I look at you. While taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in.
decorations under a sky of dust. A constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association. You point the finger at me again. I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind.
My night day, something in here's not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I got left. I don't know what stressed me first, how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head. Like a face that I hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that I watch every time I lie, face that laughs every time I fall. It urges everything. So I know that when it's time to sink or swim, the face inside is hearing me, ready to leave my skin.
All right, we're back. Gonna have a little fun. We're gonna talk to Brad Wims now, and he is part of the Nova Dolphin Club out in Northern Virginia, and he's ready with us. Brad, are you there, my man?
Yes, sir, Big O. What's up, man?
How you doing, baby? What's new in your world, Brad? You ready to rock?
Oh, big time, man. We're going down for fan club. I can't wait. Going down with NorCal.
All right.
That's going to be big time.
All right, good. So we'll see you down here for fan. That's next weekend, right? Isn't that next weekend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We come down Friday. We got a big party on Saturday night at Boat Campers in Fort Lauderdale. We ready to do big things, baby.
I'll be there, man. I'll be there hanging out with you guys next Saturday, having some fun. I'm looking forward to it over there at Boat Campers and get all the Fin fans together. Plus, I would imagine I'm going to see you also in Vegas, right, Brad, for our special broadcast? Because, you know, Dolphin Nation is going to own Vegas, baby.
Oh, hey, I'm seeing if I can be all in. I might be overseas. If not, I'll be in. I know NorCal wants me to go, so I might have to come and make an appearance.
All right, I like it. Yeah, man, come on out here. It's going to be the weekend of a lifetime for Dolphins. So let me ask you, how are you dealing with the season? How do you look at this season as a Dolphin?
All right, Big O. I got some things to say about it. First off, I don't like the tanking. I hate it.
Okay.
I absolutely hate it. You can't come from a culture of losing like that and just expect to roll into the next few seasons with winning. That's my personal opinion. I know some other people feel differently about it, but for me, it's not my thing, man.
I know, but you weren't winning before.
I understand that. I totally understand that.
And here's where I disagree with you. It's not tanking. They reset the franchise. My Marlins are tankers. They never try to win. That's tanking. Tanking is when you're really not trying to win every year. The Dolphins have reset the franchise so they can have all that money available to them over the next couple of years so they can buy whatever players they want. They loaded up on draft picks to draft those players, not to trade them away, but to keep them and build a franchise. So to me, I think this is the smartest way, believe it or not, to see the Dolphins get back to being good. Nothing is a guarantee, obviously, but the last 20 years, everything they did was guaranteeing you on not winning. So what the hell? Why not try something new?
I get that. I mean, I've talked to a couple fans, and they're changing my way a little bit, but I feel your pain, brother. I've been to so many games and so many seasons where I feel like the Dolphins are going to do something, and then they just let me down, man. But I'm still a fan, true heart. I love all the fans. That's what keeps me coming back, to be honest with you, as of late. But I just love the people, man. I love the tailgate. I love going to E12. I love the deep end. These are my people, so I'm sticking with it, man. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, hey, listen, better days are ahead, I'm telling you. And one of the things that I really feel that our team finally has is now I think they've got something in the front office with Chris Greer and with McKenzie and Allen. I think they got a lot of really good personnel guys. And you could tell by a lot of the trades. I think they've gotten the better end of most of these trades. And now, let me tell you something, Brad. They hit on some of these picks because obviously that's going to be the key. The turnaround will be quick in the next couple of years. They'll become a winner if they hit on these picks.
I can agree with you, and Coach Flores is doing the right thing. I just need to believe in him, and I do. So hopefully we can turn it around, Big O. And big shout out to Nova Dolphins. If you guys are ever in Virginia and want to come check us out, we're at Sully's Poorhouse. We have a pretty strong following here in Virginia, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just with all the fan clubs all around, the country, we just try to come together and love when we come down there and see you guys.
Brad, how in the hell did you guys form a Dolphins fan club in Northern Virginia? I got to hear that story. Do you give it to me?
So I'm not the originator of the club. I moved up here. There's a lot of transplants up here from different parts of the country, but there are some from Florida. And a couple guys got together and they decided to bring a fan club together. They did that, and then like 2010, I showed up here and I happened to be like flipping through Facebook and I see this group and it said Dolphin fans. I'm like, oh, this is great. So that's how it all came together, and we've been strong ever since, man.
You've been a Dolphin fan your entire life?
Yes, sir. I'm from Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay, all right.
Home of the Rack House.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's what I was going to ask, if you were raised here, or how in the hell did you become a Dolphin fan outside of this state? So that's interesting. What, Brad, outside of the games, what else does the Northern Virginia Dolphin Club do together?
In recent years, not too much, but we just try to keep together. We do a lot of stuff for charity and stuff like that when we can, and we just direct people when they come down there to South Florida where to go. I mean, our hangout is in E12, and we hang with the deep end. So I mean, that's where we point everybody in that direction. We sometimes give away tickets. We get tickets to our fans. We have raffles, stuff like that.
All right, good stuff there. Do you guys have a Twitter handle that other Dolph fans that are listening can follow you guys?
I think it's Nova Dolphins. I'm not sure. I don't really mess with Twitter too much. That's just not me. But on Facebook, we're definitely under Nova Dolphins.
There you go. All right, folks. So make sure you follow the boys. Brad Wims from Nova Dolphin Club. Brad, thank you, my brother. I'll see you next weekend, and I hope we're partying in Vegas together too, man.
Yes, sir. Big O, love the show. Love the Dolphins. Love all the fans. Shout out to all the fans that are still sticking around. We love you.
Damn right, baby. We're Dolphins till we die, baby. Brad, you be good.
That's it. All right. Yes, sir.
You got it, my man. There you go. Brad Wims.
Later.
You got it, my man. From Nova Dolphin Club. That is your Northern Virginia Dolphin Club. How about that? That is pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it, my man.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right, good stuff, man. Brad, we'll see him next week at the fan club day over at Bow Campers. So that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to go to Vegas and hang out. Well, I'm actually looking forward to next Saturday for the fan club day because we're going to meet a lot of Dolphin fans from around the country there, around the world, actually. Not around the country, around the world.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Guys from Mexico and England are coming, and so a couple, I think Canada.
You know something?
So that's
next week, and that's setting up for the haunted house ghost thing we want out at the Hard
Sam
Rock.
Darnold, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if you weren't listening earlier on the show, on the first show, I said that November 3rd, you should make Hard Rock Stadium a haunted house. All of the tailgating should be haunted house music. You all should go in ghost costumes. There should be 50, 60,000 ghosts inside the stadium watching the game. You know, go with the scream mask.
You know how hilarious
that would be so freaking awesome. It would be awesome if we can do that. Seriously. Because I know, look, I would love to, like, convince Tom Garfinkel to have, like, the music person in the stadium play Monster Mash and the Halloween theme and the Exorcist theme and Friday the 13th and all that stuff, right? That way it just...
You know what's another...
keep it going.
Those records...
Ghostbusters.
The one that has the squeaky door and the wind howling, you know, and all that. I've seen some of them. They run for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
The second the Jets walk onto the field, you have a creaky door open as they're walking out. Yeah, just all those kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, man. Be fantastic. Everybody dressed as a ghost. Everybody booing. Oh, it would be fantastic. Might even get to him. Really?
Literally, can you imagine what Gase's eyes would be doing?
Oh, it's great. And that's the other thing. I said going ghost costumes, but those of you that can add crazy eyes to a ghost costume, that's it. You take it. It's a double whammy. You're going after Darnold and Gase. I love it. All right, let's wrap it up here on the program. We thank Frank Fiore. We got to thank the Brunetti family, of course, first and foremost, for making it all happen. Steve Calabro, all the great people out here at Hialeah Park. We love them as always. We thank everybody that has either sent in a text on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, a tweet at Big O Show, watched us here on YouTube, sent in any questions, comments, or criticisms. We love you for it. Remember, you can always check in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line whenever you're listening to the podcast at 786-322-1105. We thank John McGonigal. John McGonigal, that's how you pronounce it, from the Post-Gazette. We thank Andy Behrens from Yahoo Sports, Chris Long from WinWithSports.com, Brad Wims from Nova Dolphin Club. We thank, more importantly, all of you for tuning in and keeping it locked here on the show. We love you for supporting us anyway and every way that you do.
You made it through the 2-show gauntlet, brother.
Yes. It won't be the last.
And you still have a voice, man.
We'll be doing it every month. Anyway, so it won't be our last. Probably you'll hear from me tomorrow after the UM game. It's a noon start, so I'm sure maybe we'll have a little post-game action for you tomorrow after that happens. And don't we have Panthers too? No, we have the Heat tomorrow at 5 o'clock too.
The Heat is 5. The Panthers are Sunday. Dolphins Monday.
Yep.
So it's boom, 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 boom.
Yep. So thank you for all of you out there for supporting us and downloading and spreading the word and spreading the love. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Monday because we're on all the time. Be good.